Welcome to the Who's Keeping Score podcast. I'm your host, Cannon. Here's my grunt slave, Tristan. And our esteemed special guest for this episode is Mr. Ben Elliott.
What's up?
Number one commenter on our videos.
I have nothing better to do. So.
Welcome to episode 10. This is going to be a top 10 heavy episode.
Top 10s with Ben, you know?
Top 10s with Ben 10.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Yeah. 100%. Drink of the week, drink of the day.
Got Por Osos.
Por Osos again.
Again, because 2 episodes ago when we drank that shit-ass Tito's, I need a refresher. So, this is...
Yeah, that Tito's was god-awful.
Right. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys. Down the hatch.
Now, I don't know if you guys can notice from the lighting, but it's light outside. Recording in daylight. So it's water.
Almost didn't
Not
want to
beer.
even take the shot because it's so early.
It's fucking early.
Y'all are lame.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'll wake up and drink, but usually it's on vacation. You know?
Yeah, on vacation, that's easy, bro. 7 a.m.
Vacation.
breakfast beers, you know?
That's just
Mimosas.
a given. Yeah.
Have y'all ever had man-mosas where you take PBR? I mean, I guess you could use any beer, but you take PBR and you mix it with orange juice. Man-mosa.
I've never heard of
Never
that.
tried that, but
Never heard of it.
it's fire. Y'all should try that. I had an Australian coworker friend a few years back, and he was a heavy drinker, and so he kind of introduced me to that and
Nice.
Foster's. It's like an Australian beer.
That's cool.
But
I need to check that out.
yeah, console of the week. We're running out of consoles. I just picked up this PlayStation Portal maybe a month.
We
or
bought
so
it for this
ago.
pod. No.
If anyone wants to donate a console, link in the description.
Yeah, email us if you have any fucking Sega Genesis or N64s or anything cool like that.
Or the Soldier Boy console.
Hey,
That's,
yeah, the Soldier Boy console.
that's
No,
a...
I have been. Oh shit,
Drake?
I'm messing up, bro. I have been wanting to get a Nintendo 64 for real.
Those are cool
Sick.
consoles. The controllers are a little bit weird, but the games were solid.
Yeah, like Mario 64. I don't know if you ever played that.
Yeah.
That game is was top tier. It's like a
The Mario
It's
Kart
open
on
world.
that one was a lot of fun, too.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
few
Mario
things
64 was great.
about this. It's okay. You got to have good internet to really make the best out of it.
Here's the thing.
Nothing native plays on this. It's all remote play and streaming. So
What
it's
you can do
limited.
with that, you can just do with this.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
And
you can
you
do it with
don't
my
you
phone.
don't even have to have a console.
Yeah. Have
Yeah.
you ever heard of Backbone
The only thing,
controllers?
Mhm.
yeah. Well, the only
Yeah.
thing is though that if you have the console, you can play games that aren't on the cloud. It's like this one, you can only play cloud games. But like with the Portal, if you have the game on your PlayStation, you can play it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's okay, but it's not good for anything multiplayer or online play.
Mhm.
This is virtually for single player games only, just because of the input
Super
lag.
Yeah.
It's not super bad. Like, you notice a small bit of lag on your inputs, but it's still good for, like, playing Red Dead 2 on this bitch. It's smooth. Playing fucking Hogwarts Legacy on it, smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, the screen is 1080p full.
It does
HD.
look
That's pretty nice.
I was playing Marvel Rivals.
How
on
much
it,
did that
which-
set you back, if you don't mind me asking?
That was only like, it was $290 or something. I don't really remember. Or it was like 200.
That's not as bad.
I
as
can't
I thought
remember.
it'd be.
Yeah, it was cheap.
Yeah.
So I was just like, fuck it. Because I've been in the living room a lot with my kid while she's watching TV. So, like, and I'm just sitting there on my phone. I want to play some fucking games in
Yeah.
there. So I figured I would get that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of worthless, low key.
Yeah.
But
It's something
yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Did you guys watch anything this week? Play any games or see anything new that you want to talk about?
Honestly, I've had a busy week. The only thing I really watched is like staying up to date with Invincible. I hadn't seen it in a few weeks. So I think I had to catch up on episodes 6 and 7.
Yeah.
And I played a little bit of a Jack and Daxter. Never played those games before. Well, that's not true. I played like a little bit at a friend's house like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But Like they were on sale in the PlayStation Store, so I bought the whole collection.
Nice.
I've started playing the first one. I really enjoy it. Like it's bringing back some nostalgia.
Dude, they're so
playing
much
at my
fun.
neighbor's house when I was a little kid.
I played them all.
They're good
growing up.
games. Yeah,
I have
At
all
least the
3 of
first
them
one
down there.
is.
Like I took that little stack of games down there.
I saw Jack 3 whenever I
Yeah, those
got
are like
out
my
here.
favorite games that I have of all time. Even I have like a whole bin of them over there, but like those
Mhm.
are and all 3 of the Jack and Daxter games are in there
Yeah.
because those games are.
Yeah, I'm
Freaking
excited to finish the
really
first one
fun.
and play through the rest
The
of them.
third one is by far the best.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because reviews I saw online, like they were pretty mixed. Like people either seemed to really like Jack 3 or they really hated the changes it made.
It did make changes, but also you get all these cool cars you can drive
Mhm.
around in the desert and
Yeah.
stuff. It's super fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
they're-
like Ratchet and Clank.
kind of, but more open world. I feel like maybe.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank is also something I need to play more. Like I've played a little bit here and there as a kid, but I never like actually owned a Ratchet and Clank game and played through it before.
Yeah, me neither. I've never played Jack and Dexter either,
Yeah.
so I'm missing out on those.
The first one so far is a lot of fun. Like it's obviously a 20-year-old game or
Mhm.
however old it is, but it's aged fairly well. I mean, it's still like fun. Like as long as you aren't like, oh, this isn't 4K 120
Yeah.
frames per second or whatever.
Well, also, like-
it's good.
Fucking. I kind of even still remember the story, like Precursor. That's like
Mhm.
a thing. Yeah.
I like collecting all those orbs and power
Yeah,
cells.
yeah.
It's cool. Like
It was. It's like an OG like story mode type game, you know?
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
something we don't get a lot of good out of anymore.
no.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
it isn't too big.
Yeah, and also what's wild is that Naughty Dog made Jack and Daxter, which I didn't know until I booted up the game and saw Naughty Dog's intro. I
Mhm.
was like, this is wild, like how much that studio has changed
They made-
since Jack and Daxter.
Crash Bandicoot too,
Oh, did they?
hmm
Okay, that's cool.
which
Yeah.
is one of my
Yeah.
favorite fucking games. And
To be fair,
series.
Naughty Dog's pretty good at story mode because
They're
what
good.
was
They've
it?
just changed a
What was
lot.
the newest ones?
Last of Us,
Yeah,
Last of
well
Us
that,
Part
but
2 is
but
the
also
newest
the
one.
other one.
Uncharted.
No, well yeah, no. What's the one with the tech and stuff?
Are you talking about the trailer that's come out?
For the new game in the future that they have.
No, there were 2 games. What were they? It was like you drive. It was like a GTA ripoff, where you like hack stuff with your little phone. And,
Watch Dogs.
that was
Watch Dogs.
Ubisoft.
was it
Yeah,
not?
that was
That wasn't
Ubisoft.
Naughty Dog.
No.
Yeah. Exposed on camera.
Exposed.
Fake.
Fake nerd.
You don't know shit, dog.
Huh.
You are not.
No,
You are
I,
Naughty
I will
Dog.
say
Naughty
like
Dog?
that. No,
No,
I
I
mean
feel
it was
like
kind of similar to
everybody's
like
lying to me
how
right now.
Naughty Dog made their games.
Just because it has dog in the title of the game doesn't mean it's made by Naughty Dog, bro. Come on.
Yeah, that's what got you. I'm 100% certain it's Ubisoft.
Yeah, Ubisoft Montreal.
It's a
Fuck.
100p Ubisoft title.
Yeah, but instead you have Naughty Dog now, which has made Uncharted 4, Last of Us, and then Last of Us Part 2, then Last of Us Remastered, then Last of Us Remade, and then soon they'll make Last of Us Remade for PS6,
And they
they'll
have
just- Last of Us
Here's-
PS7. It'll just
They have Last of Us
Keep
2
going.
remastered.
I mean, like
That
here's a
just came
oh
picture.
yeah, I forgot they actually did remaster Last of Us 2, which honestly it didn't need a remaster.
No, it,
Like it looked really
I don't
good on
think so.
PS4.
it's a beautiful fucking game.
Oh, for sure.
Already.
I have issues with the story, but like gameplay and graphics, it's excellent.
I'm
Oh,
not
did you
gonna
know there's
lie.
a Jack
I
and
loved
Daxter
it.
PSP game too?
There's a few of them. There's one that's just like a Daxter game, I think.
I know Jack X. I think that's just a racing game or something.
Yeah, it is. It came with the
Yeah.
bundle I bought on PlayStation. And
See, the game doesn't look terrible for when
no,
it
it
came out,
doesn't.
dude.
Like obviously it looks outdated.
I mean,
but
you know
it's
what it
not
looks like
bad.
a lot is Sea of Thieves. You know what I mean? That's what it looks like, and I,
can
love Sea of
kinda
Thieves.
see it. Yeah. That's a game I haven't played, but I should check out.
There's a couple from 3.
Yeah.
Sea
Yeah.
of Thieves is fun, but it definitely gets kind of old.
Yeah, especially
That
if you
makes
don't have
sense.
friends. I was playing a lot by myself.
That's any online game. Like if I'm not playing with friends, I lose interest so quickly.
I think
Yeah.
that's why you might like Marvel Rivals if you give it another try. Like playing it
Yeah.
with a team, like people you can communicate with, really
Yeah, it is.
changes the whole
It
fucking
does.
experience. Like
That makes sense. Yeah. Maybe I'll give it a go.
it's I mean, it's
Or give it another
tactical.
go.
Like
Yeah. I like playing as Iron Man. It's fun.
Ugh,
oh yeah,
gross.
Iron Man's awesome.
Gross.
Yeah, I'm a Punisher guy. Punisher. And
Oh,
Hulk.
Punisher's fun too.
Yeah, that's my
I like
favorite.
playing as
I just
Punisher.
I wreck with Punisher.
Yeah,
You're
he's
a
cool.
fucking noob, Punisher. You just play COD. That's all you play.
I don't.
That's
I
why
don't.
you
I haven't
play.
even played COD. I've been playing a lot of Spider-Man 2 on PC.
It's a good game, but it's not a great game. I
Spider-Man
think y'all
2?
already talked about it in the podcast. Yeah, it's good. I'd give it like a 8 out of 10.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I just think that they changed things that they shouldn't have changed.
From
Like
the first one, yeah.
like Peter's fucking abilities. He's kind of nerfed. Or like you're nerfed overall as Spider-Man. You lose your insane amount of gadgets. You lose your insane amount of suit powers that you have from the first game.
That's fair. I didn't even think about it from that perspective. But I mean, you're right. But
Yeah.
also, it's tough with single player games because you also don't want someone to start a new game with all their OP stuff from the first game.
You know where
Yeah.
they did a really good job of something like that was, did you ever play Infamous?
Well, that's not true. I played like a demo for one of them.
Yeah, so like in Infamous 1, obviously by the end of it, you've built up all these big powers, right? Kind of like in Spider-Man, you know what I mean?
Right.
So to explain you losing all of them, you pretty much die at the end and like come back in a different form or something like that.
Okay.
In 2. So when you start out, you're like, oh, I gotta learn these powers again.
Yeah.
And then you get even better powers because it's the second one. But
That's pretty cool.
yeah, you see what I mean? Instead of whereas Spider-Man, it's like fucking a year later, he's like, how do you, I used to know how to do the loop-de-loop. I don't know how to do that no more.
Yeah.
You gotta teach me again.
I don't know. Some of it, it's like, I know it's a lazy way to wave off criticism, but sometimes I'm just like, it's a video game. Like, you just have to get rid of some mechanics, add them in a new game. And obviously, it's really easy just to avoid criticism by going, it's just a game or it's just a movie. But I don't know. I think in some cases,
it's a little lazy every once in a while.
Right.
Because it's already there, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Like if someone goes back and wants to play through those games and they get like, it's different when you had to wait the years for it to come out.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back and you replay all of Spider-Man 1 at the end of Spider-Man 1, you're having fun, you're fucking swinging around with all the cool shit you got, and then you go into Spider-Man 2 and you've lost all that.
Yeah. But I will say I really like the Venom suit and Venom powers and stuff.
I just got that
Peter
far.
Parker.
I just got to getting...
It's so cool.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
And like, I don't know.
You punch so much harder with the Venom stuff.
I don't know at what point you unlock like suit variations, but at one point I had like a midnight blue like Venom suit.
Yeah.
Like kind of like in the comics, like where it looks almost like a dark blue instead of black.
Yeah.
It looks so cool in the game. But
all those different suit variations are pretty cool. Man,
that was actually something else. I was more upset about them not carrying over all the suits from the first game and the second game than the powers, because there were a lot of good suits in the first game that they just didn't put in the second game. Like you had like I think they brought the Iron Spider suit over, but there were like a few other
this time.
Yeah, but like there are several other suits that were.
They didn't bring back the Spider Armor Mark 1.
Yes.
Like the silver.
That
I love that suit.
Yeah.
They didn't bring back the Prowler suit yet. I don't know if you get it in game. I just don't.
Oh, you definitely do.
For Miles. That's actually something I like because you get it earlier in the game than you do in the Miles Morales game. And then
you also don't get the one you were talking about where your underwear.
The underwear suit they didn't bring back.
What the hell?
Yeah,
that was
trying to see some spider cheeks.
That was funny. I like that suit.
The animated like comic book suit from the first game. Like they didn't bring that back. They didn't bring the Iron Spider suit from the comics, the red and gold one. They didn't bring that one back. They didn't bring back really a lot of
there were a lot.
There are new ones though, but
there
also
are a lot of
they're
new
not
ones,
as good as I feel like.
They aren't quite as good, and I don't have a problem with the new ones. I just wish they kept like making new and interesting ones, but also adding in the old ones.
I do like. I don't know if in the first one, I don't remember. Did you have the amazing spot like?
Amazing one.
Amazing TASM?
They didn't have TASM 2 suit, though.
They didn't have TASM 2 suit?
Mm-hmm.
This one, the TASM 2 suit is fucking top
Oh, wait,
tier.
yeah, you're right. I don't think they had TASM 2 in the first one.
The first one.
It looks so good in Spider-Man 2, the TASM suit.
Oh, for sure.
That's what I play with, because it feels like Spider-Man.
I can't remember. Honestly, I usually end up doing the, like one of like the Ben Reilly suits.
Scarlet Spider suits.
Yeah. I honestly, I like just the OG one with like the ripped off sleeves, like the
hoodie.
Blue hoodie with like the emblem
See,
on
I'm weird, man. I like it to look like Spider-Man when I'm playing, you know what I mean? So like, I'll play with the cool suits every once in a while, but I'm like, and even like the different color variants.
I love the different color variants.
Yeah, it's cool, but like, orange is my favorite color, and you get the Advanced Suit 2.0, and it's in orange. You can have it in orange, but I don't play as that because I'm like, I'm not fucking Spider-Man.
I like it in like the dark red.
Yep.
If I'm playing in the classic suit.
Yeah. The dark red with the black. Yeah, that is.
It looks good. Yeah.
The classic suit from that game is great.
Mm-hmm.
And wearing that with red and black is fun.
So you watched Invincible.
Yeah, we can talk about Invincible.
We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it at the end. I know we've already went over Spider-Man. We did a review at the beginning, throwing us off. Ben.
My bad.
I played Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Oh yeah, I think I seen you
The
playing
first
that.
one.
I bought the first one. I just haven't gotten around to playing it yet. How is it?
It's good. I mean, it's kind of like janky and clunky feeling,
Right.
but in combat, like it's very satisfying. Like just fucking killing someone. This might sound fucked up, but it's satisfying to kill people in that game.
Yeah.
It just feels like there's a lot of weight.
Is
to
it like people?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
It's just people. There's no like
Just
weird
people.
Shit?
It's not fantasy.
Cool.
It's just,
medieval.
medieval.
So you just like smacking them around with the sword and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's now diagnosed with gangrene.
yeah. TB.
Yeah.
TV.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Black Death.
So, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll do a little Invincible review at the end.
Oh
if you
yeah,
want.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, me too.
I
I
have
know
a lot to
episode
say
8 isn't
about
out
that
yet, but
show. Yeah.
So we just want to hop into Ben's top 10s.
Ben's top 10.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Oh,
you
man.
guys know in our first episode we went over our top 10 movies, games, TV shows. Well, I figure every time we'll have a guest, we'll just ask them their top 10 movies, TVs, and games.
It's a good way to get to know
Yeah.
people and what they think.
And dog on them for their ridiculous choices.
Oh yeah, y'all are gonna have a few that you're probably just
Yeah.
gonna be like, what the fuck is that? But
I'm actually gonna fucking write them
Ben,
down.
comment on this video in the future, dogging on your own list.
okay, I'll do that. No, actually, there were a few things that I tweaked because initially I was like, oh, I really like this one. Then after more thinking, I was like, I actually watched this other show or played this other game more. So like there are several things that I would like to put on my list that there's only 10 slots and there's countless games, movies.
You can add an honorable
Shows.
mention here and there if you want to.
I
Or
might
if
do that just off
You
the
can think.
dome. But
You
you want
with
me to start
movies.
with movies? Okay.
Yeah, start with
So
movies.
starting with number 10, it's a rom-com. It's Crazy Stupid Love. I don't know if y'all have ever seen that.
I'm with you.
I'm not a big rom-com guy, but Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling are the two main characters.
Yeah.
And have y'all ever seen
I love that movie,
Okay,
yeah.
it's a really good movie.
I'm with you, dude.
Like, and
I-
like,
I
whenever
like-
they end up meeting, like, once they found out, like, I guess I can spoil it. Like,
Spoil it.
Hey, there's a huge twist.
there's a huge twist where like Ryan Gosling ends up dating Steve Carell's daughter,
yeah.
and they
Aw.
find
But
out.
he's been talking.
it's-
They've been talking to each other the whole movie, and like trying to help each other out with girls. Like Steve Carell's trying to be a little bit more of a player, and what's his name is trying to be a little bit more
Right.
of not a player. So they're kind
Right.
of teaching each other. And it turns out Steve Carell's been talking this guy into getting with his daughter the whole movie.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And it's like Emma Stone is throughout the whole movie, but you don't realize until like the latter half that she's Steve's daughter.
Yeah.
Like, at first, you're just thinking that she's set up there just to be Ryan Gosling's love interest, which she ends up being. But then the twist comes that
Well, there's also like
she's-
the other twist where like the neighbor girl wants to have sex with Steve Carell.
oh yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
also that his son was in love with the neighbor girl. Like,
Yeah,
it was a
it's-
whole thing.
It's actually a pretty good movie.
The climax of that movie is pretty fun.
It's actually pretty good. I've watched it several times in the past few years.
Yeah.
That's an interesting pick. for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Rom-com,
it's-
get on there.
I mean, I
first.
do. I like those kind of rom-coms. The
Yeah.
ones that are like funny and like not so, you know what I mean?
Like it's solid
Mm-hmm.
acting, solid story. I like all the characters. But it's just a good movie.
There's a couple
Yeah.
movies like that that I
Yeah.
really like. Have you ever seen Two Night Stand?
Mm-mm.
Just try to watch that
No.
5-year engagement.
Mm-mm. Like I said, I'm not a big
That
rom
awkward
com guy.
moment.
This guy
I just-
right here is a rom.
Those
I
movies
haven't
they're in
like,
the same.
Yeah, I just haven't seen them. Like
Yeah.
I saw this movie got recommended on my Netflix like several years ago. I like Ryan Gosling. I like Steve Carell. I was like, okay. I watched it, and I've been watching it like once every 1 or 2 years since then, at least.
Did you watch Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling,
Mm-mm,
where he plays the stuntman?
I've seen trailers for it.
pretty
I
good.
haven't seen it.
So one of the better movies of 2024.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to give that a go.
That was a good.
Number
Uh,
9.
Number 9 is Seven, classic movie.
I mean, I'll give it to you. You put a
Yep.
horror
I
movie.
haven't
on
seen
your
it.
list.
Yeah,
He hasn't seen it.
Oh,
What are you
man,
doing on
it's-
this podcast?
It's such a good
You're gonna get
movie.
replaced.
Well, I guess since you haven't seen it, it's a really good movie. I won't get into the details,
Yeah,
but it's such a good movie.
It's
Like,
funny. My dad
It
just
also
texted
has a huge
me.
twist.
I guess my dad watched an episode, and I think I've said that I haven't watched 7. This might be the third time
Yeah, for
on
sure.
3 episodes.
I
It's
thought y'all
hard
were.
not to bring that movie up.
I thought you were like laughing at me whenever you first did that reaction.
No.
So I was like, what? Like, that's a great movie.
It's just funny
But-
that it comes up again, and it's
Again.
like,
Yeah,
I haven't
no,
fucking
it's
seen
a
this.
movie
It's a good movie.
I'd only first seen it like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but I've watched it at least a dozen times.
Dude,
since
it's
then.
good. It's
Yeah.
disgusting, but also a good twist.
Oh yeah, it's
for
great. Number 8, classic, Star Wars: A New Hope.
Sure. Okay.
Hell
Great
yeah.
movie. Honestly, Star
Hell
Wars.
yeah.
If you'd asked me like several years ago, Star Wars would probably make up most of my list, but I've kind of soured on the franchise
Yeah.
as a whole.
We also
Especially
don't do that
since
with
Disney.
our list.
I put a
Yeah,
whole
and that was-
trilogy on mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do it as like one.
Yeah.
But like we don't do like 5,
Yeah.
6, and 7 or
Right.
Yeah.
Well, outside of my next pick, I'm not just going to be like listing off a whole franchise, but I had to put Empire Strikes Back.
no,
on
that's
here.
fine. Like if
That's
you have
my-
2 of them on there, I get
Yeah,
it.
number
Especially
7.
if they're way spread out.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, these aren't way spread out. Like, it was hard for me to decide which one was better. Because my number 8 is A New Hope. My number 7 is Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
That's
Because
fair.
Empire is the best Star Wars movie. It's... Oh my... What do you have to say about that?
I think it's valid.
It's good. I'm not.
Right.
I understand why people think that.
Right.
I do. I've just come to the conclusion that after watching it a whole bunch, that it's not
No.
to me. It doesn't. I
No.
get it. Like
That's kind of how I feel about
understand.
Revenge of the Sith.
that's the thing is that
fans.
Revenge of the Sith to me is the best Star Wars movie. It's
Mhm.
so fucking good.
See,
There's
I
just
can-
a lot of problems in the prequels, and that we could...
There is,
spend a
but,
whole
that
podcast
movie as a
talking about
whole
that.
is like start to finish. It starts out with a fucking space battle.
Oh, it's a good
like,
movie.
From start to finish,
Yeah.
you're like,
It's the best of the prequels, but
Yeah.
I still don't think it's as good as any of the original movies.
I think
But-
you can make a case for any Star Wars of the 6 originals, like being your number 1, except
Yeah.
for like Attack of
Phantom,
the Clones.
or-
No,
yeah.
Phantom. I think Phantom has a chance.
Phantom Menace is underrated. Like it's
it is.
it's
Yeah.
it's a
It's
good
actually
movie.
not bad.
It's a good movie.
People just got mad at that. Like, people got mad that it wasn't all mystery and stuff, but they don't understand that like the last 3, the world was in, it was spread apart. It was under an empire.
Right.
It is all mystery and stuff. This is showing how the world got that bad. Like that's what the
Right.
prequels are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, before Phantom Menace, you know anything about international space trade laws, and you're like, yeah, but like you have to know, like you have.
Well,
That's something that can exist.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to defend
Has to.
every aspect of the prequels. There's a lot that could have been done differently, but overall, it's still a good movie.
Yeah,
It's just
the
not.
grooming.
It's not great. Oh yeah. That's-
pretty rough.
Anakin Skywalker definitely should have been older
Yeah.
in the first movie. Like I would have aged him anywhere from 5 to 10 years
Well, they
older
couldn't,
than what he was.
But what they could have done is de-age. What's her name? At least made her like only 4 years older than him or something.
Well, she
instead of-
is canonically like I think like he's like 9 in that movie and she was 13
No,
or
I
maybe
think
10
she's
and
like,
14.
No, I think she was like 15 or 16.
She was like 4. We looked
She was
this up. I
14.
just
Yeah,
can't
we did
remember.
look this up.
I'm pretty certain that she was 14 and he
It
was,
was a
9
while-
or
I
he was
feel like-
9 or 10.
Hold on.
Or the characters were
At
supposed
most,
to
We
be.
did
was a
this in like our
5-year
first episode.
5-year age gap.
It was like 4 or
Age
5 years.
Gap between Anakin and Padme is the first thing that comes up. Oh, they're 5 years
Okay,
apart. Okay,
yeah.
in the Phantom Menace, she's 14
It's just
and he's
5
9.
years between a 10 and a 15-year-old. That's a lot of
Yeah.
developmental difference.
Well, think about 12 and 17.
Right, exactly.
13 and 18.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
that's-
kind of gross to think about kids.
But think about
that
when
young
you were
dating.
9.
Oh, I'd have
And
been like,
you would've
dang,
been
that
like,
14-year-old.
Like,
yeah.
damn, bro, I'm
Yeah.
in love with you.
yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
Like,
But
kind of makes sense.
yeah, my number 6 is actually The Departed, Martin Scorsese movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
No, you should. It's
You should.
it's
you really
also
should.
it's also one of the best like mob movies because
It is.
not because it's like Irish mob instead of Italian mob, but like it's interesting to see like a mob movie where it's not all ooh gabagool and whatever.
Yeah, it's
But-
interesting. The movie, like, isn't just...
Yeah,
There's no boring fucking Italian dinner scenes or anything. It's,
No,
it's all
it's-
fucking gas.
it's great. Like
Yeah.
the Matt Damon and
the
Leonardo
undercover
DiCaprio.
with both of them being double sided and
It's
Yeah.
and then they almost meet a few times and
Yeah.
they don't. It's just the tension throughout the movie
It's so
is so
high,
good because you
bro.
don't know which one of them is going to get caught, when they'll get caught, how. Like
Yeah.
you just don't know if it'll
What's
even
going to happen and when it
it'll
actually. Let's
happen.
not give it away too much, but when the
Right.
thing, you know, the thing
Yeah.
with the,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? When that happens,
It's
you're
wild.
like, what the fuck?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You-
It's
yeah.
a great movie.
And then at the very end, you know, with
Yeah.
the,
Oh, I know.
you know, with
yeah.
the, and then he's.
I wasn't expecting that the first go through. I thought he was gonna.
That was it.
be
He's gonna
good.
get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my number
That's
5 is a Blade Runner.
Original.
Original, like what was it, like 1979 or
Something like that.
Whatever.
It was 80s.
81.
maybe, I'm not sure, but like it's a great movie. It was not a box office hit whenever it came out, but I think it's aged extremely well.
1982.
82, okay. Like Harrison Ford, as always, killed it.
Killed
He
it.
did
like he always
great.
does, yeah.
Yeah. All the other characters and actors were fantastic. The ending of it being kind of ambiguous whether or not Deckard, who's played by Harrison Ford, it's kind of ambiguous whether or not he's also a replicant or not.
Mhm.
And up until the new movie came out, it just kind of leaves you wondering, maybe he's a replicant.
Yeah,
Maybe he's
they waited
not.
like 40 years for a
Mhm.
new one.
And the
Yeah.
second movie's great, but
It
I
is
didn't
good.
want to put both of those movies on the list.
Yeah.
So I just put the first one because I actually like the first one a little bit better too.
Oh yeah, definitely the first one's a
But-
little bit better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just love like sci-fi worlds, especially because it's almost like dystopian. Like there's advertisements like in the sky, and it's just kind of
You know
It's
what I like about
cyberpunk.
yeah, exactly. I love that type of atmosphere.
you know what I
in
like about that movie?
media. Yeah,
This is something I have a real problem with in sci-fi movies. Is that they try to build too much of the world and they
Mhm.
vaguely do it, and it just doesn't seem like there are loose ends everywhere, and like
Right.
you don't really. But that movie would do a real good job of like condensing it down to where it's a sci-fi world, but there's not too much going
Right.
on. Yeah.
right. Like it keeps it all within like one planet. It'll mention
Yeah.
other planets here and there, but it's not
Yeah,
trying to make an overly large story. It has a
Yeah.
story to tell. It tells it open shut. That's it.
Fifth Element does a good job of that too, and that even that movie, like something I bitch about a lot in Star Wars is that all these new aliens and worlds they're coming up with,
Mhm.
they'll have them on screen for 2 seconds and then get rid of them,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean?
And then
Yeah.
go back to Tatooine.
Yeah, go back to the same 3
Go back
planets
to
we've been on a
Tatooine.
million times.
Or, oh, we won't go Tatooine. We'll go, to
to a world that
Jakku
looks
instead.
exactly like it. Yeah.
This
Whereas,
is a
like,
different Tatooine,
Fifth
guys.
Element had all these different aliens and stuff, but you didn't
Mhm.
need to know about any of them for the story. You know?
Right.
Yeah, it was
Right, and that was something that I wish Star Wars would have done more of, but now it's too late. Is sometimes you can say more by saying less.
Mhm.
We don't have to know what species Yoda is. We don't have to know who, like, where Obi-Wan was born, who his parents were. Like, just everyone wants to know every answer to absolutely everything nowadays,
Well,
and
it's
it
the
kills
nerds.
the suspense.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It's the nerds.
That's
Yeah,
why it's
for
good
sure.
to have
Yeah.
an expanded universe like in books and comics.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
that's interesting, but like, I think that's okay because not everyone's going to access that media, I guess.
yeah.
Not to sound like, oh, you should only read certain things if you're like a super big nerd, but also like nowadays, like they're pumping out Disney Plus shows about like every single side character.
You
I'm
know,
just
that's
like, what are
actually
you
not a
doing?
big problem with me is pumping those out. The Obi-Wan, you
Mhm.
can enjoy Star Wars and never watch Obi-Wan. Like Kenobi,
I have big problems with Obi-Wan. It
I don't.
destroyed a
It
lot of the
does.
storytelling.
Canon, yeah,
That
but
show's-
Canon.
you
Yeah.
know, you don't have to watch it to enjoy any other Star Wars.
Right, that's
You know
fair.
where Disney fucks up with that is Marvel. You
Yeah.
absolutely have to watch those shows.
Yeah. Well, I would say even the Ahsoka show in Star Wars, if you go into that not having ever watched the prequels, the Clone
I'm
Wars.
saying for the main movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't have to
yeah.
watch the shows. For the
Yeah, you're
movies.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
you don't
Yeah. All right.
until the Mandalorian movie comes out, and then they're like, "You gotta
I'm
watch
just
all of
so
this."
Yeah.
disinterested in Star Wars at this point. It's just
What's your next one?
my next one is The Dark Knight.
Was that 5?
Classic number
Yeah,
4.
Dark
Yeah,
Knight?
number
yeah.
4 is The Dark Knight.
Yeah, that checks out.
I don't need to elaborate on that whatsoever. Like it's just great
We've
movie,
talked about
great
it.
actors. You all have said plenty about it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Your comment on one of our videos was like, "Yeah, enough has been said about this movie." Like,
it's a
Like,
great
you're
movie.
right.
It's a 10 out of 10. Like that's
It is absolutely.
yeah. I think you could argue it's a 9 out of 10 movie,
Yeah, it
but
is.
even that is like it's barely a 9 out of 10 if you're gonna rank it that low. But my next one is actually American Psycho. Christian Bale as an actor is fantastic.
About these fucking horror movies and
It's not even
suspense, bro. All these movies
horror,
are
really
super
suspense.
suspense filled.
I don't know. I just love that movie. Like
I'm with you.
like just seeing how he behaves in like a corporate
It's fun.
job. It just like the amount of meaning behind it, just kind of shitting on corporate America and mental illness and all this other stuff.
It's
is
a
just,
little disturbing.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's
definitely
supposed to be.
confusing most of
Yeah.
the movie. You're confused.
yeah, and then like he's just so mentally deranged at the end of the movie. You don't know how much of it is real and how much of it he made up in his head.
Yeah.
But it's so good. Like I'm actually, this probably won't age well, but I'm actually a little bit upset that they're remaking that movie because I feel like they just aren't going to make it as well as the first
No,
one.
probably not.
And
Who are they going to use in the remake?
I forgot who they're casting. I think it's the guy who played Elvis in that biopic.
Austin Butler?
Yeah,
Oh,
Austin Butler. I
he
think.
could probably do it.
I mean,
You know
he'll-
who else could do it real well?
what's
That
that?
Barry Cogan or whatever.
Barry Keegan?
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
He could
Yeah.
kill that role. for
Yeah, I
sure.
just don't think it needs a remake. Like,
Yeah, I
but
feel that.
all right. So my second pick is the Batman. Hot take. I think it's actually a little
Yes.
bit better than the Dark Knight.
Oh, okay.
Y'all can fight me on that.
I mean,
I
I'm not gonna fight you. He's a better Batman.
right.
The movie overall is absolutely not better than The Dark Knight
Okay.
as a movie.
Okay. Yeah.
He is a better Batman, as in he's
Yeah.
more like
Yeah.
canon to the comics. He's
Yeah.
a fucking detective,
right.
right? He's not military Batman.
Right.
I like
But the
grittiness.
movie, bro, it's like 4
Here's-
hours long. It feels like, and nothing happens. And
great.
he constantly
It's
is
three.
not.
It's like three and a half. It's like 3 hours.
Yeah,
I mean, it's still a
pretty
long movie,
long
but
as fuck.
And
but
it's,
I don't
like
know.
I can't even remember a fight scene besides the very first.
I think
one.
it's on par with the Dark Knight in every way, except for I think it makes a better Gotham City. Like the Dark Knight, the
Yeah.
only issue is you can clearly tell it's in Chicago.
Yeah, for sure.
It like Batman Begins has a leg up on both the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises because
Because
it feels like Gotham.
Well, they
Like
made
that-
it look like Gotham.
Exactly, but
Yeah.
the Dark Knight Rises is
It's Chicago.
New York City. The Dark Knight is Chicago.
Yeah.
Like you can just tell. Whereas this movie, it's like, oh fuck, this feels like its own city. It feels like Gotham. And what else was I gonna say? The fight scenes. As much as I love Christopher Nolan, all the action movies with the Dark Knight, Christian Bale's just like, like the whole time. Like it's
Yeah.
like I'm not trying to say that the fight scenes are necessarily bad because they're still entertaining, but like in this, like Robert Pattinson is clearly like beating the crap out of people and he's using like forms like martial arts or fighting and stuff, whereas like Christian Bale's just like
No, I think Robert
And it's
Pattinson
just-
does make a good Batman.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like I'm not saying that to like disrespect, like I love like the Dark Knight trilogy.
Oh yeah, me too.
It's like one of my favorite trilogies of all time.
By far.
I just think the Batman is a little bit better than the Dark Knight.
It's a lot more grounded.
Yeah, it is definitely
Yeah.
more grounded.
Yeah, I like that aspect
I don't know.
of it too.
As a movie though, I'll stick that. As a movie,
And I know that's not a popular
It's,
opinion.
you know,
like, it's
I've said it a million times about my rewatchability. The rewatchability of the Batman is
I love it.
so low
real.
compared,
I've seen
to
it.
Dark Knight.
I've seen it like half a dozen times. since
Really?
it came
I've
out.
seen it like
yeah.
twice.
Oh, the Penguin's great.
The penguin in that fucking movie is
Yeah.
like so awesome, and like him chasing the penguin down in the car.
No,
I
it's
get
definitely
chills
better
every time
Batman.
he starts up the Batmobile.
Me too.
Oh man,
It's
such a
definitely
good
better
scene.
Batman.
Yeah.
Even the villain. I mean that the penguin.
The
The-
Riddler. Phew,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
motherfucker was scary.
And then you also have like the Falcones or Falcons, however you
Mhm.
pronounce it.
Yeah.
That was cool.
And Barry Keegan, whatever, is also playing Joker. I guess.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm kind of sick of the Joker, if I'm being honest. Like, I feel like the Joker's in everything, whereas Batman has so many other villains they could pull from. If they're gonna have the Joker in the Matt Reeves movies, I wish they'd wait a while until like having more people like Calendar Man, Victor
Clayface.
Zsasz, Clayface, Mr. Freeze. There's a
Oh,
few other ones I
definitely.
can't
They
think
should
of.
revisit Mr. Freeze.
Yeah,
But
they
like
definitely
there's
could.
like for Matt Reeves' universe, I feel like they could do more serial killer type thing. Like
Yeah.
in Bad Hatter. They could do like
Oh,
a
yeah.
creepy, like he kidnaps women, dresses them up as Cinderella, like I don't know, like that type of thing.
Yeah, they could.
Or
No, you're
Alice.
right.
Sorry, I'm mixing up story tales. Where he dresses them up like Alice for like tea parties and
Yeah.
Fuck
but
yeah.
I like the Joker is a great villain. I'm just a little bit burned out on seeing him in every new Batman thing.
He's just such a villain.
For sure. Like, he's great.
He's the main villain. Like,
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. Oh,
the main foil.
You know what I wish that, speaking of villains, I have the opposite of how I feel about that, but with Superman.
mm-hmm.
Can we get some Lex Luthor, bro? Like,
for sure. Yeah.
when is the last time we've seen him? Like Superman 3 in like 2004?
I have no idea.
You know what I mean?
It's
I mean,
been
we've seen him
years.
in Batman v Superman,
He
but
never
he didn't
like
do anything.
fights or does anything against.
Anything.
And that's
Yeah.
one thing I'm looking forward to about the new Superman movies. Like, Lex
Lex
Luthor's definitely
Luthor.
going to play a big part in that.
Oh, thank goodness.
And
right?
the actor
Like,
for him plays, I think,
Nicholas
Beast.
Hoult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's actually a pretty good pick for Luthor.
yeah, for sure.
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
I
I
remember
really like Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
I did
honestly.
not. I did not like that at
Jesse
all.
Eisenberg as
I
Luthor.
I
Good
hated that pick. I still don't like
The
it.
guy-
Michael
who's fucking
Rosenbaum, bro.
awkward
Y'all know,
as
we
shit.
all know about Michael Rosenbaum.
He was
Lex
good.
Luthor,
Oh,
bro.
he was a good pick.
That was
yeah.
the gas. Yeah.
Solid casting.
Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor's like putting Michael Cera as fucking Lex Luthor.
Exact-
It's fucking
yeah.
awkward.
Yeah,
That's
it-
just-
I didn't
okay,
like
yeah, I
it.
see.
I felt
kinda
like
get what
watching
you're
like
saying. I don't
autistic
know.
Lex Luthor or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just thought he
Strange.
played him well. I don't know. Maybe I'm a fucking
Yeah.
asshole.
No, I mean we can all have different opinions.
You
that's
are
what-
an asshole.
Yeah.
yeah, but I see you already
Yeah, because
peaked in my list. My number one pick is Usual Suspects.
never seen it.
It's a
I've never
30-year-old.
seen that. What
Oh,
is
it's
Usual
so great.
Suspects?
It's this old. It's kind of hard to explain it. So basically, through like a meetup at the jail where like someone has to like a lineup. That's the word I'm looking for. Like all these guys are in a lineup that's somehow been arranged by this higher up mob boss, and then they're all like work together to do some heists. I don't want to explain too much without like giving it away, but it's a really good thriller. Like the further and further as the movie goes on, at the very end, like your mind is just blown with like the amount of twists that happen, and it all like isn't unveiled until the very end of the movie. But Kevin Spacey is in it, which
Yeah, I've seen
hasn't
that.
aged well, but he's a great actor.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
He's definitely great.
Benicio del Toro's in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot he was.
Giancarlo
Yeah.
Esposito.
hmm
Well, he
That's
is?
crazy.
Yeah, he is. Huh.
Like it's
How
just
old is it?
it's about 30 years old. It came
95?
out 95.
Yeah, exactly 30 years old.
30 years old. Yeah, but it's a movie that I rewatch at least once a year.
Really?
Yeah, it's
That's cool.
you'll never get this. Honestly, if I ever get Alzheimer's or dementia or anything like that, I'm going back and watching this movie.
That will pull you back
It's-
to your regular self.
Oh, for sure. Like not remembering the twist at the end of the movie and then watching this again, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm healed again. Like it's such a good movie.
Your grandkids will be like,
Yeah.
"Here, granddad, watch your movie." Who are you? And then you'll be like, "Oh, I
I'm
love
back
you."
now.
That's an awesome pick. Dude.
Surely
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey hasn't done anything bad since this movie.
Oh, you'd be like, oh,
That's
that's
Kevin Spacey doing now.
What's he doing these days?
Oh,
Yeah, I remember
love
him.
that
Speaking of,
Kevin.
you remember him in Advanced Warfare?
Dude,
Oh, he was
fucking
great. He was a
man.
great
yeah.
villain.
He actually does play in one of. Did you ever watch? What's that movie? Is it called 21? The
I haven't
casino
seen
movie
that.
with him in it.
Yeah.
That one's really
I
good.
think I saw that.
I've seen the movie Casino.
No, not that one.
But
Anyway,
Uh,
you want to move on to TV shows?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's a good
So my
list.
top 10 TV shows, number 10, y'all might laugh at this, Dukes of Hazzard. I watched that a ton as a kid. Like, I grew up with my
Okay.
parents not really letting me watch cable and limited TV access. So this is like one of the only shows that I watched a lot of.
Yeah, 'cause it's
Like
on,
I had-
Channel 4 or something.
Yeah, like I had seasons 1 through 7 on DVD, watched every episode multiple times. It's been like at least minimum like 12 years since I've seen the show, and I still like perfectly remember a surprising amount of the show because I've seen it that much. So I just felt like that deserved a spot for like being a pretty big part of my childhood.
No, definitely.
Uh,
I respect that. Like,
Yeah,
that's where your favorites are built.
right.
I watched a lot of I Love Lucy.
Yeah, I
in
watched
those
some of that
days.
at my grandparents'
Yeah.
house. Yeah. Number 9 pick is The Office. Just a classic,
Respectable, bro.
good sitcom. It's basic, but it's basic for a reason because it's such a good show. Like
Yeah.
everyone likes it. The people that don't like it,
I don't
Or
know.
trying to not like it so they seem different.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but I've seen lots of clips, and god dang,
It's funny.
they're
It's
fucking
good.
hilarious.
Yeah.
It's
I
good.
mean, it's just the situational comedy. And
Oh, for sure.
It's
yeah.
top tier.
Top.
Yeah.
Steve Carell, like that goes back to like him being in the show is what drew me to the movie Crazy Stupid Love,
Yeah.
because I just like, oh, he's in The Office. He's absolutely great and funny
Mhm.
in that show. So, but yeah, like
And then like all the shows that have tried to recreate that are by the same people, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine kind of tries.
it's
and
just not the same.
it's not the same. The one that got closest was Parks and Rec,
for sure.
which
yeah.
I love. Parks and Rec.
It's a good show,
yeah,
but
I
it's
love it. But it's
it's
not.
like-
it's
it's just-
missing, bro.
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely. It's too silly. Like The Office gets way too silly at points, but
Right.
it still stays grounded.
Right.
The-
right.
Everyone in Parks and Rec goes way too out of it.
Oh, for sure. And it's
Yeah.
funny. It's entertaining, but it doesn't feel like it's happening in an actual office. Whereas The Office, it's like, this feels like a
Yeah.
realistic, very poorly
Well,
managed
most of the
work
episodes
environment.
are in the office.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah. My number 8 pick. Some of these picks, I'm excluding certain seasons of TV because, like, the shows themselves initially were so good, but then dropped off.
Yeah.
Y'all probably know what I'm talking about just by saying that. But Game
True
of
Detective.
Thrones. Actually, I'll talk about True Detective in a little bit.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones is my number 8. If you exclude,
Fuck
I
yeah.
don't like season 7 either.
I don't need
Season 8 is really bad, but season 7 is when it really starts to go off the rails.
absolutely
Yeah, for sure.
It was, they lost the fucking plot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
like-
I mean, we can all blame. There's 3 people. There's
Mhm.
George R. Martin for taking. You know, I just watched Logan Lucky the other day. Do you know what I'm about to say?
Mm-mm.
Logan Lucky. It's a movie about where like Channing Tatum robs a NASCAR stadium or whatever.
Yep.
With Adam Driver and anyway, it's really
I haven't
good.
seen it.
In that movie, for them to escape prison, the prison guards like take over.
Oh, I've seen the clip.
You've seen the
this.
clip,
Yeah,
right?
I didn't know
And
what it
they're
was
like,
from.
this movie is from like 2012, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And this is already, it's been a few years since Dance with Dragons comes out.
right.
And the prison guards are like, we want a copy of Wins a Winner. And they're like, we can't give it to you, George R. Martin. And they're like, George R. Martin said he was releasing it this year. And they're like, yeah, but it's pushed back. And that was 13 years ago.
yeah,
And it's still not out.
Still not out.
And I'm a huge A Song of Ice and Fire fan. Like, I own all the books. I
Me
need
too.
to reread them because it's been several years. So some of the details of the books have been lost to my mind. But, like, it's such a well done series. And George R. R. Martin has just, I guess, lost
Given up.
passion or
Yeah.
interest or whatever
Honestly,
to finish
put
the
out the
series.
draft, bro. Like, we just give us the draft.
Or
Give us the
honestly, I wish he'd
overall.
hire ghostwriters or
Yeah.
co-authors.
Honestly.
Like, if he had co-authors to help keep him
Surely
on
he's
track.
got enough to where they can do it.
He should have
For
pulled
sure.
a George Lucas already.
Yeah, sold.
Sold that motherfucker.
Well, here's the
off.
Well,
thing,
we
it's
all
like
know
the
how
TV
that
show.
turned out.
Yeah.
He does. George R. R. Martin does say he gave David and DB or whatever.
Whoever their names are.
Yeah, he gave them enough content. He was like, y'all could do 10 more seasons with the content I gave you, and they
They
squeezed
were
it
in a
into.
rush.
They squeezed it into 16 episodes. Do you know why they did this?
So they could get Star Wars.
So they could get Star Wars and They fucked themselves. They did so bad with those 2 seasons that Disney was like, nah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, D&D screwed themselves. They really proved
Screwed
that
themselves.
they're good at
and us.
adapting source material, but they suck at making new stuff.
Well, I think that
You
they
can
could
tell
have
when
made
they-
new stuff. I think they could have done a better job, but they were trying to hurry up so they could get their Star Wars movies.
Well, like, even the
Like-
show started to show cracks whenever they ran out. Well, I say they ran out of source material. They chose not to use a lot of source material.
for sure.
There's a lot of prophecy and magic and
Mhm.
extra characters that just weren't in the show whatsoever.
Catelyn Stark coming back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her
Her
coming
being
back as
undead.
a. I'm going blank on her name.
The White Lady or something like that. Weird.
Yeah. Yeah, but whatever. But like,
Did you know
and
that?
then
No.
Catelyn Stark comes back from the undead in the books.
yeah, she's kind of like a
Is that the
zombie
White
who's
Walker?
fueled
Yeah.
by vengeance. Not quite. It's hard to explain, but I don't know. Like Game of Thrones, before the last few seasons, it was such a good series,
And that's the
and
thing
it's
is
just hard to rewatch now because you have to either cut yourself off or you continue to watch the rest
And
of
then
it
get
and
mad.
realize how bad it sucks.
Yeah, the first 3 or 4 seasons are like
Oh, perfect.
hell, dude. I think all the way up to season 6. I mean, season 6 has Battle of the Bastards and stuff. That is like top tier Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and there are definitely like some plot holes with
Oh yeah, for
with
sure.
the battle, but it's still really good
Yeah.
TV.
Well, and that's the thing is D&D, man. That, like, you are on the cusp of creating what people are already calling the best TV show of all time,
Right.
right? And you fuck up and squeeze out these last 2 seasons because you think that Star Wars movies are going to do you better.
Yeah. People,
Yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
it was honestly amazing how quickly Game of Thrones fell out of the spotlight. Like, it was such a top, like, pop cultural phenomenon. And just overnight, people
Yeah.
quit talking about it.
Yeah, I
People
know.
quit interacting about like it just
It was like Game of Thrones and Marvel, like, were the fucking top dogs, and I literally like.
but even Marvel
couldn't
wasn't
do
just
nothing.
immediately just like people quit talking about like Game
Yeah.
of Thrones was.
That was like Civil War time. Like,
Yeah.
they still had.
Oh, they were
a
still
lot-
cooking back
yeah,
then. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
That you couldn't do anything or go anywhere without hearing about those 2
Yeah.
specific
yeah. But
franchises.
yeah.
I'm sorry to kill momentum. I need something to drink. So, y'all mind if
Okay.
I get something to drink?
Go,
Real
go,
quick?
go,
Yeah,
go,
that's
go,
fine.
man.
You want a water?
No, I'm good for now. Thanks though. Alright, so is this whenever we talk shit on Canon?
Yeah, Cannon needs to watch some movies.
What a
Can you believe
loser.
he hasn't seen The Departed?
That's insane.
Isn't that crazy?
Okay, I will say, like, unironically, it's kind of insane that he hasn't seen, like, Seven or
Or The Departed.
or The Departed.
There's
yeah.
a bunch of times. Where
Or
I
even
bring it up
Usual
to-
Suspects. Like, you should watch that too.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
should.
really good movie.
There's a lot of movies I bring up that are like top tier. Like everybody says these are great movies, and he's like, never seen it.
Well, to be like, everyone has knowledge
Yeah,
or
I have-
media
I have-
gaps. There's
I'm not-
tons of stuff I haven't seen.
I consider myself as someone who has seen an ungodly amount of movies,
right.
and there's still obviously huge movies that I'm like, I just haven't got around to watching it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Uh-oh.
We're
He's
talking,
back.
we're talking shit how you haven't seen The Departed or Seven.
Piece of shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, but no, y'all should watch those when you get a chance.
I
What
will.
else? Oh, my next show, number 7 is Better Call Saul. Amazing show. Really like the story. It
I
is
can't
a
believe that made your
perfect
top 10.
prequel, sequel show. I love like Vince Gilligan stuff. Like, he's such a good
I will agree
creator.
that watching Better Call
writer.
Saul, it's pretty good.
It's really good.
yeah,
Yeah. And
it's not Breaking Bad, but it's okay.
well, my next pick, number 6, was Breaking Bad.
yeah,
Breaking Bad is, I wouldn't say it's obviously better than Better Call Saul, but it's what started it all.
it's obviously
This-
better than Better Call
The
Saul.
season, or like the series, like Vince Gilligan knew, like, I want to tell a story, I'm going to tell it well, 5 seasons and I'm
Yeah,
done.
bro,
He didn't
yeah.
drag it out.
Good.
He didn't drag out Better Call Saul either. Better Call Saul was also, it was just like a perfect prequel, sequel series to Breaking Bad.
Speaking of a series
Um,
that he could have drug it out, but he thought 5 seasons is what I'm telling, it's over. You know who didn't do that? Who should have? Have you ever watched Supernatural?
Mm-mm,
The
no.
first 5 seasons are all like building blocks onto something to like, and you don't even know. In
Right.
season 5, it all comes to a big like, this is obviously what should be the end of this,
Right.
and then they drug it on for 10 more seasons.
I thought
after
there were-
that.
Yeah.
Like 20 seasons.
There's like 18 seasons. Yeah, it's like 13
That's
more
insane.
seasons after
Ridiculous.
that.
That is insane.
Where eventually, yeah, the first couple after that, it gets, it's still good. They got momentum, but then
Right.
after that, it's like you're telling the same story every year
Yeah.
with a different named bad guy. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I kind of just talked about my number 7 and 6. I feel like Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad kind of intertwine a lot because they're made by the same person,
Well, they're in the same.
similar characters,
world.
same world. Like,
I do like the
Yeah,
later
it's-
seasons of Better Call Saul a lot more.
Yeah.
The first ones where it's just like lawyer stuff is
I
kind of
like
interesting,
it.
but
It's really cool.
those later seasons where they're bringing in, you're seeing like the stuff being set up that you like them building the underground lab
Mhm.
and
I liked that a lot.
yeah, bro,
Mike
the-
is
like
such
the
a good
build-up,
character.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
bringing Mike in, like
Yeah. I don't know if y'all already talked about this. You probably already know this, but like the reason Mike was a character is because Bob Odenkirk had to film in How I Met Your Mother. So they couldn't bring in Bob Odenkirk for like the scene to help clean up Jesse's house after Jane died. So they're like, oh, here's a new character.
I
And that's
didn't
how
know that.
That's
You
how
know-
Mike was made.
That's
That's
cool.
pretty
Because
cool.
Bob couldn't make it to set. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you know Bob Odenkirk? He is in everything.
Oh, for sure.
He
yeah.
is a side character in almost all of my favorite TV shows. How I Met Your Mother.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I know, like I know him in that show. He's in The
Yeah.
Office.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
in,
that's right.
He's in Despicable Me 4.
Yeah. Well,
nice.
he's in-
He voices the villain.
That's funny.
but he's in. Oh crap! What's that? What's that show with? Okay, hear me out. You know the guy who plays the Tick?
The Tick
The
and
Tick.
Yeah. You know, like big old. Fuck, hold on.
I don't know.
Anyway, he's in that show. It's another. Oh, Rules of Engagement. He's in that for like one episode. He's one of those characters that just you can throw him in anything for an episode, and he's good.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen Nobody with Bob Odenkirk?
I have not.
It's a pretty decent movie.
I thought it was decent.
Him playing an action character is pretty cool though.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was good. He
Yeah.
does good in the action, and the action in that movie is fucking
The action was
brutal.
solid. Yeah. Yeah.
It got a little bit ridiculous at the end just because it turned into like just a massive gunfight.
It turned into John Wick, but with Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome that he was in How I Met. That's why. That's kind of nice.
Mhm.
I do like him in How I Met Your Mother too. He actually plays kind of a bigger role in it.
I really like his character. It's funny.
But
How much he hates his wife and loves his dog
Yeah.
is great.
Tugboat.
She's like, Tugboat, come here, buddy.
Well, lock her in the basement, sir. That's animal cruelty. Not Tugboat, my wife.
Just to keep the podcast from being like 4 hours long, because I feel like I could talk about this stuff forever. How I Met Your Mother is my number 5.
Hell
love-
Hell yeah!
I love How I Met
Look
Your
for
Mother.
it, bro.
The ending is god awful, but the rest of the show is so good
Well,
that
which
it makes
ending?
up for it. What do you mean, which ending?
Have you seen both endings?
I've seen like the normal ending where
You
like
haven't
they
seen
undo.
the alternate ending?
What's the alternate? Like,
Really? I'll
maybe
give
I'm-
that DVD. I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Did
You
the
gotta go watch
alternate
it. If you-
ending come
if
out
that's on
after
your top,
everybody hated the
Yeah.
original ending?
no. Well, they filmed both. So like, you know
Is
the
that-
kids.
Does it just end after?
No. It's a whole thing. You know the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know all those scenes with the kids were filmed in 2005.
Right.
Every one of them.
And that's why
They told those kids 7 different ways they were going to end the show, and
Oh,
they
really?
filmed for every single one of them.
Okay.
And the way that we all thought, because the way we thought it was going to end with him being with his fucking wife forever, right?
Mhm.
They used that as the alternate ending on the DVD.
That's what it should have. I need to watch it then.
It's much better.
Yeah, that would
Although,
have been much better.
Over the
because
years, I have grown fond of the original ending. I have grown very fond of it.
Boo.
It is so...
No,
yeah, but they build up to that.
No, they don't. They build up to
do.
Barney and Robin being together, and it
Yeah,
works
no,
so.
that part I hate.
Like Ted and Robin together is like oil and water. Like they just chemically do not mix. No matter how much you'll stir them together, they are too different. And that's
with
what
you.
like Ted spends the whole show. Like
the whole show is
he
him.
spends the whole show realizing Robin is not the girl for him.
Yeah, but then the reason that's that's the thing though is the reason he chose to tell the story of the story wasn't How I Met Your Mother. It wasn't. It just wasn't. It was here's what has happened between me and Robin because the show starts with him meeting
I
Robin.
know, but I
So that
still
way he can convince his kids like, can I go fuck your Aunt Robin, please? And you guys will be cool with it.
I just hated it because it undid all of Barney's character growth, Robin's
That's
character
the part I
growth,
don't agree
and
with.
Ted's character growth.
It did
They
not
all-
undo Ted's character growth.
They regressed.
It did not undo Ted at all.
I disagree.
It did not undo Ted at all, bro. Ted is still. What does he do? What does he do to get Robin?
He
What does
runs.
he do?
He runs back to
With
Robin.
the fucking blue French horn, bro.
Exactly.
Okay, but
He moved
okay,
past.
yeah, I guess you're
He
kind of
moved
right there.
past
But
that.
it doesn't undo anything about him. You know who it does undo is all of the stuff with Barney, bro. Barney
I hated
made
what they
such
did
a
with
good
Barney.
arc, and then at the very end, they're like, "Nah, he's a
I hated
player."
that. The last episode, they turned him back into a douchey player. Who,
Yeah, but then he wasn't.
at the very end, because he falls in love with his baby
With his
or
daughter,
what.
and then
I just-
he's out at a bar. You remember this?
I remember it just
He
wasn't
was out
as
at a
good
bar
as,
and he was gonna hit on this woman, and then she's like, my parents don't know where I'm at. He's like, go home and you fucking call your parents. Jesus, what are you doing at a bar on a fucking Monday afternoon? You know what I mean?
I
It's
just hated that because like it was better than nothing, but it was better to have kept him with Robin.
Oh,
instead.
absolutely, yeah. No,
But-
the whole show, you kind of realize that Robin and Barney need to be together.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole
But
show,
who-
they're just swapping bitches left and right. This
Yeah.
is what's going on.
Yeah,
Like,
no, that's exactly what's happening.
they're
I mean, that's
fucking
every show, I
bitch in the
feel
friend
like.
group.
Yeah, that's like every sitcom friend group. They all just
That ain't no,
swap
you haven't
partners.
watched it all the way? You
No.
haven't watched it? It gets wild.
No,
There are
I'm
wild
lost.
stuff, yeah.
It's good.
But I have
No,
heard
but
the ending
with
sucked.
Robin,
Yeah.
like I don't agree that it really changed anything about her because she's always been career oriented, always.
Yeah.
And she did choose love a couple times, and every time it messed her up. Like when she chose Ted, and then Ted cheated on her, or cheated. What did he do?
I think he cheated with her on
with
Victoria.
her, but then he did something else. What did, I don't know.
I don't know,
The other-
man.
I don't
Ted
know.
screws up a lot.
Ted is an idiot. Also,
Ted is not a good person.
No.
That's
Ted's a terrible person. Also, something that like I like to think I saw this like on Reddit or something where you know think of all the girls Ted's been with. This is just him retelling to his kids, right? He's just retelling all this. Do you think he's making this up about how hot these women were?
I've seen theories at least where he, because Barney was the one that married Robin, he's actually telling the story to make Barney look like a much worse person.
Yeah.
And he's making himself look like a much better person.
Yeah, I've seen that one too.
So.
Because Barney is absolutely a terrible person.
Right. Yeah. But it also makes you wonder how much of that is because Ted was just jealous that Robin belonged with and loved Barney instead of him.
You know what other part of the show is wild? The fact that they were like, this grown man who's 28, in 14 years from now, or 20 years from now, his voice will just sound like
Bob Saget.
Yeah, like his voice is going to change into Bob Saget's voice.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking about that instead of just having
him do it.
Whatever his actor's
Not that I
name
don't
is.
love Bob Saget as the storyteller. It's
Right.
good.
But
and then they throw it away whenever they finally show old Ted behind the desk, and it's just him talking. You're like, what happened to the voice?
Yeah, it's
imagine
weird.
they dubbed Bob Saget's voice over Ted.
That would have been funny.
Yeah.
That would have been funny.
Bro, Tristan could talk about this show for fucking...
I know
too.
an insane amount about that show.
Yeah, my number 4 pick is actually True Detective Season 1.
Fuck yeah.
A coworker of mine introduced me to the show. I'd heard of it, but I didn't know anything about it a couple of years ago. This is only like maybe 3 years ago tops. I've already seen it like 5 times since then.
Yeah, I need to rewatch
Like
it.
I just watched it for the first time.
Binge it. Like I'll watch all 8 episodes in one sitting. It's just like that.
It is though, because I watched.
It's so good.
I told you I watched episode 1 and I was like, and I was kind of because I like to play games and watch TV. And then episode 2, I did the same thing. And then I was like halfway through episode 3 and I had to go do something. And I was sitting here like, I want to go home and watch this show. And then I come home and I was like, I'm just going to watch a little bit of an episode and go to sleep. Because I had to work the next day. And you know what I did? I watched season 3 to the fucking final. I watched all of it. I couldn't stop. Yeah. It's like, I was like, I have to be at work in a couple hours. And I'm like, yeah, but one more.
Yeah, it's so good. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw the first season.
Yeah.
One time only, but...
Yeah.
And then I watched the second season after that. And I was like...
It's okay.
I'm in the second season
kind of boring,
now.
bro.
Yeah.
My personal ranking is probably season 1 is best. Season 3 is second best. Distant second, by the way. Yeah, like it's good, but nothing compares to the first season. And then the 4th season is probably third best, and then
Country.
Yeah, and then the second season is last.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I had kind of high faith at first for second season. It's got Vince Vaughn and
no, the acting's great. I just think the story was not the best.
Not great.
Like not bad, but just not as well refined.
Yeah, it's not like a super.
The first
mystery.
one was so good, because it was such a super mystery and like it was in a smaller area. You know what I mean? It was, it's really down to earth.
Yeah,
lightning in a bottle.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah, it was lightning in a bottle.
They could never do
that.
Again.
You can't replicate it.
Like I don't know if they need to bring Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson back.
Bro, their chemistry on screen.
Oh, it's great.
They should. Yeah. They might look into that. They should.
They should.
Yeah.
Fuck it. How much can we pay you guys?
Yeah.
You know when they had did you guys watch Matthew McConaughey on Two Bears One Cave? Did you watch that at all? You guys watched it?
No.
Well, they had him on Two Bears, with Tom Segura.
Right.
They had him on there, and they're asking about all these roles and stuff, and I was like, how are you not bringing up True Detective? How are you, Tom?
He's been in so much stuff.
Well, he sits down and watches like actual true crime and stuff. So like, surely he's seen True Detective, and I'm like, how are you not bringing this up? It's
one of his best
roles by far. Yeah.
Same for Woody Harrelson. And they've both been in really good things, so that says a lot. That those are, in my opinion, some of their best roles.
When we have Matthew McConaughey on our podcast, we'll ask him about True Detective.
Oh, that sounds good.
He might be dead by the time we get there.
A couple years, couple more episodes.
He doesn't age a whole lot. He's no like Paul Rudd as far as like reverse aging or whatever, but he'll probably
Paul Rudd looks older in Friends than he does right now.
It's kind of crazy.
That was 30 years ago.
I know. It's insane. What's my next pick? South Park is number 3.
Hell yeah.
Just great show. I
get it.
Story wise, it's not going to
terrible.
compare to True Detective, but like just entertainment value.
Yeah, it's rewatchable.
Like
too.
it's very rewatchable.
The laughs
It's funny.
are- yeah.
I consistently laugh. The characters are funny. Cartman is so evil and stupid. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's definitely something you could just
like-
put on and not care.
Right.
Yeah,
and like and Matt and Trey like are like somewhat intelligent. Like a lot of their humor isn't completely stupid, just
Yeah,
potty
it's not
humor. It's
farts
actually-
and stuff.
It's like somewhat well thought out. Like I just watched an episode where they basically just shit on George Lucas for editing his old movies and re-releasing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because like they're like, oh, like in this scene of them staying at the bus, we decided to have walkers and a lizard around, which is exactly what he did when he re-released A New Hope
Yeah.
with Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
So I was just dying. I had to pause for a minute just because I was laughing so hard when they called him out for that.
Well, there's
They
also like
parody
a
a lot.
billion seasons of it too.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And the newer seasons aren't quite as good, but the older seasons.
Well,
are
you imagine you're doing
so
a TV
much
show
better.
with 20 episodes for 20 years. I bet
Mhm.
you run
Oh
out
yeah,
of some shit.
yeah,
too.
yeah, for sure. But like that show, I've rewatched it several times. I could rewatch it several more. My number 2 is The Sopranos.
Hell yeah.
I love The Sopranos.
Fully
seen
agree
it.
with
Oh,
that.
it's so good, dude.
Fuck yeah. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's so good. Like, actually, like Evan and like I got
Compared
Evan,
to Breaking Bad.
Compared to Breaking Bad, it's like boom, boom. Like you could maybe switch 'em out.
Personally,
It's
I
fucking
like
great.
it a little bit more than Breaking Bad.
Hmm.
I don't know if I would say it's better than Breaking Bad, but I like it more.
Yeah, I couldn't say it was better. Like they're literally fucking.
Yeah,
They're
but
both
Breaking Bad wouldn't
masterpieces.
exist without
Sopranos.
Sopranos. Like The Sopranos was kind of one of the first shows to have really shitty people be like the person you're rooting for.
Yep. Tony
Um,
Soprano's a fucking bastard.
he's a terrible person, but
Yeah.
you also don't want him to get caught by cops the
No.
entire show. So
I would. I really do need to watch that.
It's
Maybe I'll
good.
start.
Christopher, fucking, he's a fucking
Christopher,
degenerate idiot. But
What
goddamn,
else?
I love him so much.
I was trying to say something positive because she's your friend.
I hate
The amount of
way-
references that I like from that show are great. Like Evan and I, like we send each other Sopranos memes all the time.
Paulie,
It's- yeah.
motherfucker.
I can't replicate that stupid laugh he does,
Yeah, I can't do it either.
but it's
Yeah, I need to
it's
watch
it's a
it.
great show.
Just while we just brought up Breaking Bad again,
Yeah.
I meant to say something earlier.
Yeah,
Did you know that Aaron Paul, Jesse wasn't supposed to be in the whole show?
Mhm. They were gonna come off after like season 1
Yeah,
or 2,
and
right?
what's his name? The guy that they end up killing, that was in the basement with the plate and the sandwich.
Gale.
No, in like the first
Oh
season.
yeah. I can't remember his name.
You
but I
remember
know who you're talking
Jesse's
about.
dealer?
He was like the first person that Walter ever killed.
Yeah, you remember they had him chained up in the basement.
Nacho?
With the
Was that his
white
name?
No, not Nacho was the guy from Better Call Saul. He
Oh,
was his
right.
cousin. His
Yeah.
cousin. He was. You see his origin stories in Better Call Saul.
Mhm. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he was like a shitty little guy. Like he was all, Nacho beats the shit out of him and stuff. And then by
Yeah.
Breaking Bad, he's like the badass.
Yeah, I
He was
that.
supposed to replace Jesse.
Really.
Yeah.
I'm
but-
glad they didn't do that.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
Aaron
dude,
Paul's,
Jesse's the
for
best
sure.
part about that.
well,
show.
Aaron
yeah.
Paul's voice is invincible. We can talk about that later, but he voices one of the characters in the newest
Yeah.
season,
And it's really
and
good.
I had to look it up because I was like, "This sounds like Aaron
You
Paul."
didn't get that on the rip, dude.
Well, I did. I just wanted to make sure because
Yeah.
it's hard to tell with voice actors sometimes.
Just because he yells.
But
so
the way
much,
he
right?
yelled, the way
Yeah.
it sounded so like painful, I was like, "Oh, that's definitely Aaron Paul."
Aaron
Now I
Paul,
looked it
yeah.
up. I was like,
It's,
"Yeah, it's
yeah.
Aaron Paul."
Who does he play?
He plays
Whatever
the
his name is.
electricity guy.
The person who like transfers like potential energy into kinetic energy
Yeah.
and uses that to
He's in the new season.
I don't remember.
He's trying to kill Invincible like the whole season.
yeah.
Of season 3?
Yeah.
Mhm. I don't know. You might not have worked your way that
here,
far.
What episode are you on, Kenna?
5 or 6. Like I need to watch maybe 6.
He
or
only
7.
popped up in the last like 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah, I don't guess I've seen that yet. But I fuck with that. I like that.
If you type in like season 3 Aaron Paul, you should see him. If you just type in Invincible
This
season
guy.
3, it's
No, I haven't seen that yet.
okay. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
really good.
Must be.
Aaron Paul's
The
a
next
really good
episode
voice
for me.
actor. He's a good actor in general.
What's that dude's name? Powerplex.
Powerplex, that's what it is.
Powerplex.
I really thought it was interesting the way he like converts energy. Into,
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a cool superpower.
Like
dude.
it-
like for real.
It's really cool. Like I like it. I mean, obviously it's not a realistic show, but the way like energy can't be created or destroyed, right? So
Yeah,
he's hitting himself to like
That's what I mean. It's
generate
like, how do
energy,
you,
and then he uses that energy
how
to
do you
transfer
buff
into
him, bro?
electricity.
If he can move, like you'd have to make him stationary.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
all he'd have to do. Like, even if you lock him in a cell for 5
Even
years,
like
if he,
just
if
like
he,
hitting him.
if he could do this right here for 5 years, he could build enough energy to fucking break out.
Yeah.
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 That is a cool power.
Yeah. It's a really good character, but. All right, so my number one show, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Fuck yeah.
I love that show. My favorite sitcom ever.
Hilarious.
I didn't get introduced to that show until about probably 5 years ago. A good friend of mine from Murray introduced me to it because he thought I'd like it. I've been hooked ever since.
I used to watch it when it was on like cable,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I'd watch like random episodes. You guys remember how cable was? You just were like,
What's that?
It was like Russian roulette with episodes. You know what I mean?
The good thing
It's
about
a
that
really
show
good
is
show.
it's every episode can be watched randomly. Really, like
There were a couple like
Every time
story-based episodes, but
but it's like 2 or 3 maybe episodes.
Yeah.
Every time I try to watch it now, though, I always start on season 1. And I'm just like, I know sometimes you have to like give it, but I'm just like, nah.
Dude,
Actually,
season 1 is the funniest fucking.
I really
season
like
ever.
season 1. Everyone shits on season 1, says it's the worst season. It's one of my favorites. Like, they don't have Danny DeVito yet, and they're still finding their way, but the humor is so like edgy, but still funny at the same time. Like having the series premiere of a show be The Gang Gets Racist is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, that is such
was
a
a
way to
different
be
time.
like, here's our show, here's like what we're doing. Like, we're making like
Edgy shit.
satire, like satirical, edgy, stupid humor.
Yeah.
Like, it's just classic. And it looks like it was filmed like 20 years before it was because of how shitty the camera
Yeah.
quality is.
Like, they recorded
And that
on
makes it, in my
makes
opinion,
it
it makes it funnier
Yeah.
with how bad the camera quality is. But yeah, like It's Always Sunny is such a good show.
The
Like,
later
I love all
seasons
the
are
actors.
worse, but,
Yeah.
which is the normal really for
It's
every
sad.
show. But
And that's something I have mixed opinions about, because as much as I love the actors, who are most of them are also the creators of the show, they should have quit. They should have quit a few seasons ago.
Yeah.
Like, the new seasons are they're a bit on the nose. Like, there's one that's like all of it is about like 2020 politics, and like
I hate that.
like it's a political show. Like, they talk
Yeah.
about gun stuff, they talk about abortion, they talk about stuff. But like, they're so specific with the political satire in some of the episodes. It's like, I watch the show to like get away from reality. I don't want to be reminded of
Oh, bro, we talk about
January
this on the
6th.
podcast all the time.
I don't want to be reminded of Donald Trump. I don't like, and they're like, oh, like I did like Rudy Giuliani's hair, and it's just like, it's too specific.
Yeah.
Instead of just talking about like, oh, like I'm gonna go hit on chicks at the abortion rally on both the pro-life and pro-choice side and see which one will get me any action, which is hilarious and funny.
That's funny.
But instead, they're like, ooh, like we're gonna go join the January 6th insurrection. It just feels a bit too real.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They missed.
I mean, we talked
that.
about this about the Captain America. Yeah. That how Falcon the Winter Soldier got way too real about BLM, and like we're dealing with this every day in our real lives, bro. Like, this is what the world is going through. Get it the fuck out of what we're trying to get away from.
And I'm not saying that like stuff. Everything is political.
Yeah.
And I think saying stuff like taking politics out of media is really stupid, considering like one of the first Captain America comics is him punching Hitler on the cover.
No, I don't mean take it out.
But if it's so specific to current issues, if it's not even like, oh, like general like racial relations, and just like, here's a specific like organization or rally or whatever, it makes it feel less like fantasy and more just like, I don't know how to explain what I'm thinking.
Yeah, like putting the pandemic into shows and shit.
Yeah.
was so
fucking
annoying,
hate
bro.
that. Like, when you see them wearing masks and shit, like, bro.
I think they did that with a few seasons of Shameless. I've never seen a ton of that show, but I think they did that with
I know
that
they
show.
did it.
I
With,
hate
I
that.
haven't watched it, but I know they did it with. And Emily gets mad about it all the time. Grey's Anatomy, they do it a lot in there.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cringy, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that shit ever.
I don't want to be reminded of COVID whatsoever.
No, me neither. That was
man.
dark.
That was a terrible time.
Dark time.
Yeah.
I was having a good time.
I was
although-
just depressed all the time.
I was in West Virginia. Nobody cared about masks. I got to go to the gym and like do whatever I wanted. And
I worked in.
I wasn't allowed to go do stuff technically.
Yeah.
So like I just worked out and played video games all the time.
Yeah,
It was fun.
I worked in rural Tennessee for a couple months for like winter break, and COVID wasn't happening down there.
Yeah.
Like, not to say it didn't exist, but like masks weren't a thing. No one like implemented any sort of distance.
No.
Like, I was working at a pig farm in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
The people there, they didn't even believe COVID was real, much less that they
Yeah.
should be wearing masks.
You know how many people I
So-
knew in West Virginia that got affected by it? Like 0.
Yeah.
Well, I think one person tested positive once.
Yeah.
I
And
was
then
working.
They went to work that day.
Nobody gave a fuck.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like it wasn't even happening.
Yeah.
Like that was one
Not
of the
that
worst
people didn't
of those.
die.
Oh yeah, like
But, you know.
yeah. Just to be clear, general viewers, we are not saying COVID is fake or that it should be disregarded. We're just sharing our experiences of different places and cultures and how they interacted with COVID.
Yeah.
Y'all ever heard of ivermectin?
Jamie, cut that out real quick.
Jamie, can we cut that? Yeah. What's your next one, dude?
We're on to
That was-
games.
Was that the last
Yeah, that
one?
was my last
number
show.
one?
Yeah, my
Number
Alright,
one,
we'll go to
Always
my
Sunny.
top
I
10.
fuck with that so hard.
my game list. This is actually somewhat specific. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed is my number 10,
That's
but not the
respectable.
PS3, Xbox 360
The
edition.
Wii
The
edition.
Wii PS2 edition. It was made by a different studio.
Mm.
And so the graphics are a lot worse because they
They
made
are.
it for last gen, but the story was better. They added a few different levels.
Yep.
The Stormtroopers, have y'all seen Star Wars Bad Batch?
Yep.
Mhm.
You know, like the weird Stormtrooper-ish armor they all wear? They wear that
Yep.
armor in the Wii Force Unleashed
You're
game.
telling me it's made by a completely different studio? But
Mhm.
it's like
It was
the
made
same
by, like,
story?
Concrete?
Huh.
It was made by a different studio. It wasn't made by Lucas Arts.
Huh. I didn't know that.
They outsourced it because they didn't want to, I guess, waste their time making like an older
yeah.
system game.
Yeah, that's what I played it on too. Was the Wii?
It was great
It was
because I didn't realize how different it
fantastic.
was from the other games until I got older, and I looked up like gameplay online. I was like, there's several levels that aren't in the PS3 360 edition, and then I did more digging and found out that they were made by different studios, and like there's because like you could go to Coruscant multiple times at Jedi Temple in the Wii version and fight like Sith ghosts and shit. It's like part of the story.
And you can turn Luke to the dark side. I don't know if that was in
I think
both
that was
versions.
a DLC in the PS3 360
Yeah,
edition.
that's just so cool.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, the like the Force Unleashed edition on like the mainstream, like the mainline consoles were good as well.
Yeah.
I really like the alternate like what if like DLCs and like both the first and the second game, but I just really like the Wii version of the Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
And my number 9 list is probably the original Modern Warfare 3. Just because I spent so much time in that game. My first console I actually bought, I'd owned a Wii before then. I'd played like a couple like Lego games on my computer at home. But like my first actual console was a PS3.
Yep.
And it was a Modern Warfare 3 bundle.
Yeah.
And I somehow tricked or convinced my parents into getting me that when I was in middle school.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Modern Warfare 3,
Yeah.
the first one. I literally had weeks, maybe even like a month or two of game time in that game. Like I played it so much.
Bro, I played the campaign in that game over and over.
Oh,
and
yeah.
over.
It was
and
a
over.
it was a good campaign.
Dude, all the
It's-
the 3 original Modern Warfare campaigns were absolute
They're
gas.
Yeah.
honestly the best campaigns
Yeah.
in the COD history.
for
yeah,
sure.
it was really good.
Like Modern Warfare 2 when you get betrayed, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? It-
It's
Well,
solid.
do you
I
guys
like-
remember at the end the museum?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Where you can just fucking press the button
Yeah.
and everything comes to life.
Yeah, and you
That
like
was
go in
really
there and
cool.
pick up
Any
guns
gun.
and shoot people.
Yeah,
that was
it was
fun.
fun.
It's
Yeah,
just a good game to fuck around in.
Something
Yeah.
funny added in.
And the Spec Ops mode, like
yeah.
Spec Ops mode was really fun.
Yeah, I like the survival mode in Modern Warfare.
Survival
3.
mode and
It was
yeah,
so
It
good.
was fun.
It was so fun. Like everyone shits on it, but with more work and refinement, I think they could have done more like
oh for sure.
wave-based survival games in the
Oh, yeah.
future, or modes, not games. But they just, I don't know. I guess
They
the
should bring
interest
that
or
back.
like the audience just wasn't there. They didn't think it was there, and I haven't seen anything like it since then.
no,
There-
they haven't done that since then. I
Yeah.
don't think, but they should.
Yeah. And my number 8 list is the 2005 version of Battlefront 2.
Hell yeah.
Classic
Hmm.
game.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't own it, but I
never
remember
played that.
going to a friend's house and he and I would just play it on his PS2 all the time. Like I know that game
Playing Galactic
inside and
Conquest.
out. Oh yeah, Galactic Conquest. We would do like the campaign and like honestly like Tamura Morrison's voice acting in that campaign was great.
Yeah.
Like you could see like
The
and back
Fire
then like they
Furnace.
didn't have like the brain chips or whatever. It was like we were ordered to kill our Jedi commanders, and we did so. Like it was just so
Yeah.
I
cool.
thought you
It
said
was
Battlefield too,
dark.
but now that I
The
realize,
Battlefront,
yeah,
sorry,
you
like
said
Star
Battlefront,
Wars, yeah.
That
So, you
game
never
is
played that?
one of my favorite games.
It's
for
such
sure.
a good game. Like it
Dude,
was,
the Galactic Conquest,
it was so
Yeah,
good.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
bro. That
Yeah.
is my favorite. Me and Alex used to sit there. Alex don't even like Star Wars.
Plays
Me and
the
Alex would
clone
sit there
troopers.
and split screen that, and it might have
Yeah.
been some of the most fun split screening
Yeah.
I ever did, dude.
Yeah, Battlefront 2 is the definition of a perfect sequel. It takes everything good about the first game and improves upon it and adds upon it.
Like the
And it came out like a year later.
space battles.
Oh yeah, Space
Dude,
Battles was
I
fun.
still
Good.
remember how you win.
Yeah.
Like, fuck fighting from the outside. You want to go straight into their hangar, rush in there and like kill their shield
Mhm.
generator and
Oh
everything.
yeah, just wreak havoc on the inside of their base.
yeah.
Blow up the
Um,
life support.
This is
Your
kind of
time
off top.
bombs.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all have seen the leaked footage for Battlefront 3 because whenever Disney bought Lucasfilm, they canceled all their projects.
Yeah.
But like that game wasn't too far away from being finished, and it had like seamless
Really.
air or space and ground battles
Oh,
like
that
going
would be
on at
cool.
the same time.
Yeah, they fucked
And
up.
the campaign was like force sensitive clones. Like you play as like a pair of force sensitive
Oh, that
clones.
would
And
have been sick. I just
evidently
want
when,
to
like-
see force sensitive clones.
yeah,
so fucking
it was
bad.
really interesting. Like the
Yeah.
gameplay obviously looked shitty, but like it's
It was
interesting.
Alpha or
Right.
whatever,
Yeah, I don't even know if it made it
yeah.
past.
Before that, it was
Alpha.
before
Yeah.
Alpha.
Yeah, but
Yeah, they squandered that.
yeah. And then 7 is Spider-Man PS4.
Fuck yes.
Great game. The story
Absolutely.
is amazing. Like I love seeing a Peter who's been Spider-Man for like more than 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
Because he's been Spider-Man, I think, I don't know if it says exactly, but at least 8 years.
it's at least
At least
7,
8
8, 9.
years. Yeah.
Wait, what game?
Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
PS4.
Yeah.
Great game. The story with Doc Ock is fantastic. The way it perfectly balances like having already established villains and just introducing them seamlessly. Like, oh, here's Scorpion, or oh, here's, or not Craven, but here's so and so. Like, but then it also introduces new characters. Like Doc Ock comes in at the end. We still haven't seen Green Goblin, but he's gonna be coming at some point.
Definitely, for sure.
The end like credits or whatever when like Venom appears with
Norman
I'm going
Osborn is like yeah.
Harry,
Yeah.
like Harry and Venom in that tank at the end
Mhm.
credits had me so hyped for Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, me too.
And the story overall is great. Like the open world, I know you've talked about in the podcast, but like the open world is perfect. Like it's not too little going on, but it's also not too much going on.
Nope. Perfect.
uh,
Exactly what you want
like-
from a Spider-Man game.
Yeah, and for me, what I'm about to talk about my next game on the list, it takes everything good about the Arkham games and like improves upon them a little bit.
For sure.
Like because that is kind of like a good template of what an open
Mhm.
world superhero game should be.
Absolutely.
And with that, my number 6 pick is Arkham City.
Arkham City is
Yeah.
fucking
I
great.
love Arkham City.
Is that
That's
the one
my
with the
favorite
Joker's? With the this might be a nitpick. Which one of them has? You know, you have to like collect all the riddles it was
Riddler
yes.
trophies.
The Riddler
You have to collect a
trophies?
lot of them in
Is
all
that-
the games, but I think the most of them are in Arkham Knight. That's like 400 or something.
Yeah,
in
see,
Arkham
that's
Knight.
something I have a problem with.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's
Ridiculous.
Too many
yeah. And Arkham Knight
collectibles.
was a good game. It just I like Arkham City is my favorite of the Arkham games.
Yeah.
Like it took everything good about Asylum but made it better without going too overboard with things like Riddler trophies like Arkham Knight did. And also I thought the twists were less obvious in
fighting
Arkham
was
City.
really good, too.
The fighting is fantastic.
Yeah.
The story is good. The character design is good. The voice acting is great. You
It
still have
still
Kevin
looks good
Conroy.
now, too.
It still looks
It
good,
came
yeah.
out 15 years ago.
Yeah, it came out on PS3.
Yeah.
But like Kevin Conroy is Batman, Mark Hamill's Joker's just top tier
Yeah.
voice acting.
Animated series.
Yeah, and then the
duo.
twist of Clayface being Joker a good amount of the game, you don't see it coming. Whereas in Arkham Knight, you see, at least I saw Jason Todd being Arkham Knight coming from a mile away. It just, I don't know, like it just made.
I didn't
I didn't
Arkham
know
Knight.
who else
Me
it
either.
could have been. Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't play
Wow.
after Arkham City.
I'm
like, I
surprised.
dismissed
It's a
Arkham
good
Knight.
game.
I'm
I just
sure.
think they lean a little bit too heavily in the Joker thing, despite killing him off in the second game, and that's really my biggest problem with the series is they use Joker a little bit more than they should, when they could rely on like even Arkham Origins, made by a different studio. Black Mask is supposed to be the big villain. He takes his mask off and it's Joker pretending to be Black Mask. It's like, come
Seriously?
on, dude. Yeah,
Really?
I'm
I
not
didn't know
joking.
that.
He literally at one point takes off his mask and it's Joker wearing black mask suit.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's stupid. That's annoying.
Yeah, and that's my only problem with those games. Well, aside from the Riddler trophies, is that they over rely on Joker a little bit too much.
I thought he died in the first game.
He died in Arkham City,
Yeah.
the second one. So, yeah.
I need to replay
But
those
Arkham
games.
Origins
It's
is
been a while.
technically a prequel,
Yeah.
and it was made by one of the Warner Brothers studios. It wasn't made by Rocksteady.
I need to replay those, man. It's been
They're
a
good.
long
Me too.
time.
They're good. Arkham Trilogy.
I have Arkham Asylum
It's-
downloaded. I want to go home and play
It's
that
good.
shit.
It's good. The only reason I don't like that one is just because it's not as open world. But I don't fault it. Like, it's a product of its time.
Yeah.
for sure.
Arkham
So-
City is.
Well, it's like if you try to talk shit on the original Assassin's Creed. It's a product
Right.
of its time, but it's still.
I
such a
actually
good
just
game.
bought the original Assassin's Creed because I've never played it before, but it was on sale in the Xbox store for like, I don't know,
It's
$5.
the only not open world Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to playing it and seeing how well it's aged or hasn't aged.
I
So,
think it's aged decently.
Yeah,
yeah,
I love that game.
I would say
Yeah.
so.
yeah.
I think I played it in like 2015, which I realize now with fucking 2
A
years
while ago, yeah,
Yeah, but even then I was like, hey, this game looked pretty good.
yeah.
To be fair, that was after GTA 5, and GTA 5.
GTA 5 is
Still
still,
kinda
a
holds
good
up,
game.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to buy it again just out of sheer principle that Rockstar, they're a great company as far as the games they make, but they're a little greedy. Like they
Yeah,
have purposefully neglected Red Dead Redemption Online just so they could pump more into GTA 5 just because of how much money they make from shark cards.
yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy. That
It makes sense.
It's
They've made
crazy.
billions of dollars just from shark cards.
Yeah.
you think that when GTA 6 comes out, online will be there from the start?
Probably,
because
I
I,
would say.
remember GTA
I would assume
5
so.
comes out, and
It was like a year and a half before.
I don't think it was
like
that
at
long.
least it was at least like a few months before.
It was at least a
online
few
came
months.
I think it was like a year
Maybe.
before online came
Not
out.
a year.
Jamie, can you
Definitely
search
not a
that
year.
up real quick?
Jamie, can you search that?
No, but either way, I think they'll have online ready to
From
go
launch.
from
I
launch
would
to
assume
keep
so.
user engagement
Well, to keep making fucking money.
and to keep making money, right? But if they don't launch it with online, a lot of people will go, I'll wait until online comes out.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
so, my next pick, if you want me to, this one is kind of cheating. I picked like a remastered collection of a series of games. So if you want me to narrow down like one specific game in the
that's
collection, I can.
But
I picked the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which is Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
well, it'd be
They're
like
all-
if you pick Master Chief Collection.
That's
that
actually
counts as one
that's
game.
actually on my list.
Yeah.
Too. But,
Okay.
yeah, my number 5, like Mass Effect, amazing trilogy. The world building is fantastic. I have a little bit of issue with like the incongruencies between like gameplay in each game. Like gameplay between like the first one and second one is completely different, but it's still
played
good.
the demos.
But it's a really good series. Like honestly, like you should put like a legendary collection or edition or whatever it's called on your wish list.
I
It's-
got it. I
it's
started playing the
good.
first one, and I just like I don't know. I had a hard time getting into it.
I'd recommend trying
like
to stick
slightly
with it.
horror,
It's
right?
really good.
Yeah, I need to.
Not really. I mean, like there's like big scary like end of the universe monsters that are coming, but like there's like a few horror aspects here and there on certain levels, but overall
Not Dead Space level.
No.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Over
Yeah, you might-
no, overall it's just like a RPG, like third person
I got you.
like sci-fi
BioWare. Fuck
BioWare game, or BioWare series.
Yeah. And they made Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, Knights of the Old Republic is gas.
Yeah.
I only first played that this summer, the first and second one.
Yeah.
Even though only the first one's made by BioWare, but good series. Yeah. But yeah, Mass Effect, solid series. Number 4 is actually the Master Chief Collection. If I had to pick
Understandable, bro.
if I had to pick a favorite one from the collection, it would be the Halo Combat Evolved.
yeah, the first one.
Yeah. I know Halo 2 is
Bro,
most people's favorite.
The pressing
but
select and it just goes between old graphics and new graphics.
it's so cool.
It's
I
so
love that
cool to
shit.
just go through
Yeah.
every level.
But
and
I
be
just
like,
love-
what does this look like? What
as
does this look like?
As someone who has never owned an Xbox until this past summer, the first thing I did was download Game Pass and immediately download Master Chief Collection and started playing through the campaigns. Such a good series. I
Yeah.
completely understand why people hate 343. Like after
Yeah.
playing through the series, like, it's so good and you notice the quality drop off after the end of Reach and the beginning of Halo 4.
Yeah, for sure you do.
Yeah,
And-
I mean, I liked Halo 4 too.
I
But
think
I
Halo
do.
4
You
is
know what is-
fine.
I-
It's
I
not
was
terrible, but you can tell it's not made by
Yeah.
340. Or
Actually-
it's not made by Bungie, sorry.
Really
The story.
like. This is a
wasn't as good.
hot take. I really like Guardians.
I know you
know,
do.
we know.
I shit on you in the comments
I
on one of your
fucking
videos for
love-
I know. I just
Guardians,
read that the
dude.
other day.
that. It's a good game. It's not a good Halo game. Like if it was just like a sci-fi first-person shooter that didn't have
I
Halo in the name.
understand. Yeah, no, definitely
like-
the story modes for the first 3. The story is so good in those first 3
Yeah.
and Reach, and even ODST. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not saying the story's is good, but the gameplay in that game is so much fun, dude.
The
Yeah.
gameplay is smooth. I mean,
Yeah.
you have a point, but it's literally the 5th, 6th iteration of it. Like,
Yeah.
if they didn't have good gameplay, then what
Yeah.
the fuck do they
Yeah.
The
have?
story was weaker. The
Oh,
Locke
God.
versus Master Chief thing felt so forced.
Yeah.
And they were clearly trying to integrate like 4 player co-op,
Mm-hmm.
and so you always, regardless of whether it's actually appropriate or not, you always have 3 NPCs following you.
And
That
it's
just
annoying
didn't-
as shit.
It just
Yeah, that
didn't
is
feel.
annoying.
It's like it just didn't feel appropriate for the story itself. Like Master Chief should have been on his own doing stuff. Instead, he has 3 completely new Spartans with him just
Mhm.
because 343 wanted to have 4-person co-op as an option and
Yeah.
have it make sense in the story. It's
Fuck
like just
that.
who cares? Like just do what you do in the old games where you just have
You got 4
two,
Master
four-
Chiefs.
four
two,
Master
three,
Chiefs,
four
yeah.
Master Chiefs, and then when a
Yeah,
cutscene
I mean,
happens,
when you-
it's just one Master Chief.
When you have
Like,
a co-op,
who cares?
You're pulled out of the game anyway.
exactly.
So like,
Yeah.
why not just pull us out a little bit more, bro?
Exactly.
Like, we're fine. Yeah.
I don't know. And Locke, I think, was a cool character. I just didn't like
Locke
what
was
they did.
the black Spartan, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, he was
his
cool
armor
shit.
looked cool. He's cool.
Yeah.
I like the actor, but that conflict between him and Chief just felt forced.
Mhm.
And I didn't like how you. And this is more of a nitpick. I did not like how you could technically like aim down sights with every gun. I hated that.
Yeah, that
Like
was
some guns you should only be able to hip fire with, but instead it's like, oh, you can zoom in a little bit more. I hated that so much.
Yeah, should have just kept it classic.
Yeah.
Every
That's something that didn't need to be changed, and
I
they
like that
changed.
game.
Yeah,
keep it arcadey.
yeah. If you like it, like that's fine. Like you, like
No,
that doesn't
I mean,
make
your
your
guys'
opinion
nitpicks
like
definitely make sense. Like
it doesn't
you're-
make your opinion less
yeah.
valid. Like I'm if people enjoy the game, like I'm glad they do. I just personally have a lot of issues with it. I thought Infinite was better than 5
For sure.
in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
Infinite was
Still
good,
not,
too.
still has a lot of flaws, but I think it at least tried to be more towards
Yeah.
like what Halo really is.
Yeah. When
And
I,
it wasn't perfect by any
What I
means.
miss
You
about Bungie making the games is like we got big Master Chief moments back then. There were
Mhm.
big moments in the game. There's no big moments anymore.
Yeah.
There's no Master Chief pushing a bomb out of the airlock.
Oh, that was crazy.
that is the honestly
So-
the
There's
best
no-
Master Chief moment.
The Covenant guy.
Arbiter.
Arbiter.
I love Arbiter.
Whenever
dude.
he's in that, I don't really remember what was going on, but you know when they're in like an elevator shaft or something, or like the
Mhm.
thing is, you know what I mean? It's like a thing falling out of the
Yeah.
sky. You know what
Yep.
I'm, you know the
He's
scene I'm
looking
talking
for the
about?
heretic.
Yeah.
He's falling
leader.
out of the sky and he's fighting. Like that was a cool, you know.
The flood shows up at the very end
We
of
used to
that
have
mission.
cool
Yeah.
big moments.
Honestly, I would be fine if they made less Master Chief games and just did more spin-offs. Like Reach is one of the most popular
Mhm.
Halo games, and Master
Smart.
Chief isn't in the game at all.
Yeah.
No.
Like if they made Arbiter spin-offs, if they made just make new characters, new squads, and just have them set in the Halo universe and give them good stories and weapons and gameplay, people will like them. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to have Master Chief as the main character in every game.
Yeah.
Like as much as I love Master Chief,
I think the way they see
like
it, though,
they
is
could
like,
have.
it takes so much to make a game now to where people will want to play it, and there's so
Right.
many games out there. Like, they're probably like, we don't want to make a game that doesn't have Master Chief
Yeah,
in
but
it.
Halo 2 was such a success, and you play as Arbiter for like nearly half the
Yeah,
game,
that
and I
was-
loved that.
Yeah,
I was
that was such
I
a
knew
cool
nothing about
addition.
the campaign going into playing that game, but I loved playing as Arbiter.
Dude,
that
playing as
much.
Arbiter is awesome in that
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
And like you don't play as him since he barely pops up since then.
Yeah.
For
Like-
the story that did so much, like
Yeah.
just showing the
The other
Covenant
side.
actual
Yeah.
side.
Yeah,
Like,
super
really nice.
innovative. Like Halo, I'm not gonna say it doesn't get enough credit for innovating first-person shooter because it obviously does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, the amount of innovation it made to the whole genre of FPSs is insane.
Halo Reach is my favorite Halo game to play.
It's a great game.
Yeah, and the armor abilities and stuff, and man, such a great series.
What's your next one, Ben?
Yeah. All right. So my next is The Last of Us. I know I joked earlier about how much Naughty Dog remakes and remasters their good games, but honestly, The Last of Us is a hit for a reason. Good gameplay. I won't say great gameplay, but it's good. The story is fantastic. The enemies are super creative. It's zombies without being normal, cliche, boring zombies. Like them being like spores that activate in your mind.
Interesting take
is
on that.
Super interesting, super creative. It's probably one of the most like creative, like outside the box zombies things I've seen. Joel and Ellie's dynamic is amazing. It's so good. Like it perfectly encapsulates that surrogate father and son, or father and daughter, sorry. Role.
It's so emotional.
The story ending is, it's not a happy ending, but it's good. Like where he doesn't care that she could potentially cure the human race because he would lose her, and he kills a ton of people to save her. Like that's a terrible thing to do, but at the same time, you can't help but like be glad he's doing it, you know, because you care that much about Joel and Ellie. And
that final mission is brutal.
It's brutal.
And
like
I felt that, like,
you first unlock a M4 in that last mission, and up until then, you never have fully automatic guns.
It was amazing
in the game, and
you need to play that fucking game.
You haven't played?
He's never played it.
Dude, you have a PS4 right there, man. Just go buy a copy of The Last of Us Remastered. You don't even have to buy the remake. Just buy the remastered game for like $10-15 bucks.
No, I've played like a couple of the first missions, and then I fall off.
No, the story's fantastic.
I understand the story's good. I have a good understanding of how good the story is. I don't know, there's something about that gameplay.
Yeah, it's far from perfect, but I think it's made up for.
I think it's more like the levels. But now that I've watched the TV show, I think it helped me out a little bit.
The TV show's good. A lot of people hate on it. I still don't think whatever her name is, Bella Ramsey, is great casting for Ellie.
No, she's terrible as Ellie, in my opinion.
I wouldn't say she's terrible. I will say
I'm not saying she's a bad actress.
Yeah, for season 2, she does not fit the bill for that at all. It was already a stretch to cast her for season 1, but season 2, she needs to be intimidating and at least like 17 or look like she's like
the exact same.
Older, and she looks the exact same. She looks like a child, and Ellie needs to look intimidating and be intimidating in the second game and second season, which is going to cover the story of the second game.
Yeah.
And she looks the exact same. It's like, I think between the first and second game, they're supposed to be like 5 or 6 years. She does not look like. Yeah, she does not look like 5 or 6 years have passed.
Yeah.
She goes from 13 to 18 or whatever it is.
Something like that, yeah. But instead she looks
the same.
12 and 12. Yeah. Or Bella Ramsey does.
It's not gonna, the show is not going to hit the same.
Yeah, but I hope that she still does a phenomenal job, because I want season 2 to be really good, even though I still have issues with how the story of the game went. But that's
I kind of like, I missed when it came out, but I heard all that, and then like going back and playing it, like that wasn't really, I don't know, I liked the story, sort of. Like I thought Abby was interesting, but like there was definitely like, it was a lot of cringy things that happened, like especially with her, and like I don't know, I
felt like scene. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Where they have sex? Yes. Yeah, that was a little awkward.
It's so bad. It's shut up.
I don't.
But step outside, and we'll call you back in when we're done talking about Last of Us.
This is what Canon feels like all the time.
I just thought it was so cool. Like, not really cool, but I mean emotional. Like, Ellie kills all of her fucking friends.
Oh yeah.
And like, holy fuck. Like,
yeah, and I'm not gonna say like the story was terrible. Like, it was fine. I just think that Neil Druckmann didn't order. Like, I don't think he had it sequenced in a good order. He should have had Ellie. He should have started the game just you play as Abby, doing normal stuff, normal things, and then like all of her friends are being killed and you don't know who. You're just invested. Like, oh, I like this character. I want to find out who's killing all these people. Then you find out it's Ellie killing all of her friends. You're like, holy shit! Like, I love Ellie. Like, why is she doing this? And then at some point, it does like a time and character jump to show later on in the game, but earlier chronologically, that Abby killed Joel. The whole problem is if you have a character that no one knows, kill a very beloved character,
At the
and
very
then
beginning.
at the very beginning of the game, and then you expect them to be invested in that character later on, they're already mentally and emotionally checked out.
Yeah.
Like, I have no issue with Joel being killed in an awful way. I have an issue with it being done, done in like the first 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah. No,
Like, it's just, it should have been done later on. Like, they
Joel
should have.
dies. Spoilers.
Shut up. But,
you knew that, surely.
I didn't.
But, oh, really?
No.
Oh, my bad.
No,
Well,
no, it's cool.
the game's
It's cool,
been
it's
out
cool,
for
it's
like
cool.
almost 10 years now,
Yeah.
so catch up, buddy.
Yeah. He
But-
gets murdered with a golf club.
Like, honestly,
Hell
if they
yeah.
kept the story the
Listen.
exact same way, but just restructured it, it would have been a lot better.
It definitely, I like the way that you put that for sure. Like having that as a flashback, because yeah, getting into Abby was a lot harder because it's like I don't want to be this fucking bitch. This is a bitch. I don't want to be this bitch.
Well, I hated playing as her because I've already seen her brutally kill Joel. Like, I am already,
You already
like,
hate her. Why would you
I
want to play
already hate her. I'm already invested in seeing her suffer.
her?
I don't want her
Like,
to like
Yeah.
survive. I don't want her to like do these successful things where you're forced to do as the player.
okay.
And that's really
Yeah.
my only thing. Like, I'm not going to be like, I'm going to completely rewrite it. This is woke garbage. Like, I'm not going to be like that. I just
No.
think that they didn't structure the story as well as they could have.
I thought like
So-
by the end of it, I was like, whenever they fight at the end, Abby and Ellie, I grew more attached to Abby. You know, playing the game, obviously.
I
like,
still wanted Ellie to kill her at the end.
Did you?
I'm going to be honest. Yeah. I just still hated Abby. Regardless of how many bad things she had been through, her killing, like, I didn't get that time to connect to her as a character before seeing her kill Joel. So I was just kind of cut off from the get-go. And I don't know, maybe other people will disagree with me, and that's fine.
By the end, I
But-
really was not looking forward to them fighting like
Yeah.
to the death because I was just like, I don't want to see how this goes. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I hate how Ellie loses everything,
Oh, yeah.
and then at the end of the game, she has nothing or nobody. And
That sucked. I hated
I
that
was
too.
like, are you fucking kidding me?
I was pissed. Yeah. But
Why did she kill Joel?
Because Joel killed her father. Her
Mhm.
father was the doctor who was going to operate on Ellie at the end of the first game to extract whatever they needed to potentially
Yeah.
make the cure.
you remember us talking about how Joel like shot his way through the
Yeah,
hospital.
yeah.
He was one of the, at the time, nameless
Did they not
characters
get
that
the-
Joel killed.
Did they not get the cure?
No.
They never
Because
make
the spores were growing on Ellie's brain. She's immune to the
Yeah, I
fire. Yeah. The spores were growing on her brain, and to access them, you'd have to
Kill her.
get into her brain and kill her. Like,
Kill
there wasn't a way to.
Kill her. I don't
Yeah.
kill her. Look, what are we talking about? What are we
Tristan, if it was your daughter though,
kill her? What are we talking? It's the human race, and it's
But Joel was attached
Bro,
to her.
and it's
Kill her.
already been,
Joel's a bitch.
it's already been
Okay,
20
that's
years
fine.
of
Yeah.
apocalypse.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that. You're saying there's a cure
Yeah.
for a
Potential.
zombie apocalypse,
There's
and
a.
it's one little girl that needs
Yeah.
to die.
Well, to
Murder
be
her.
fair, the Fireflies are a radical organization. They weren't in charge of all of America. So there also is a good argument to be made that even if they get this cure, there's no way to mass produce it and distribute it.
Understandable. Understandable.
So-
What I'm saying is, if I was the one, Ellie's a bitch, is what I'm trying to say. Because if I was the one with the stuff in my brain, and they're like, "Hey, you know, we could get
It
a
wasn't
cure
Ellie's choice.
if we
You-
get."
Ellie's
Joel-
not a bitch.
Joel-
Ellie wanted to do it.
I
Yeah.
would have done it. I would have been like, "This is what I would have done if I was Ellie." Boom! Shot myself in the heart. Brain's good. There you go.
Yeah,
Okay,
but Ellie
and the-
didn't know. Joel told her afterwards, after she'd woken up in the car, worn off from the anesthesia. After Joel shot his way through the whole hospital, he's like, "Oh, they couldn't make a cure work, so they just let us go. We're just gonna go meet up with my brother Tommy."
He lied to her, and
Ah,
it's
okay.
a main point
There's a-
in the second game,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it's a reason why they don't have as good of a relationship.
Okay.
And sort of, it's why his death hits even harder is because like they're not necessarily estranged, but like Ellie holds that against Joel.
I would say they're strange. At least at
Yeah.
the time that he dies, they still aren't on speaking terms.
Yeah.
But that is actually something I wouldn't have changed about the story in the second game. I really liked how they went into that.
Yeah, that was fine. Like Joel
Yeah.
not saying he needed to die, but like it definitely fuels the story. And I like playing as Ellie. I think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
like,
it feels like her regret for not patching things up with him before he died.
I think I cried whatever that happened.
Like, what are we?
I definitely teared up multiple times.
What are we talking about? The one. Okay, I get it. I do. I get it. But like,
Hear me out.
hear me out. Hear me out. She's gonna die. Right? She's gonna die.
Everyone
Let's
dies.
make this fucking cure. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, but
I understand.
Joel wasn't operating through logic.
I'm not like a. This isn't like we're gonna kill you to harvest your 7 organs to give to someone. And we're gonna save 7 lives. This is we're gonna kill you to save all of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about everybody else's little girls?
Right.
Who are
no, it's
zombies?
selfish. Like Joel is.
It is
not
selfish.
a good person, but like he's also the person you root for because you grow attached to him throughout the game.
Yeah.
So.
Well, now fuck
and
Joel.
their relationship.
Yeah.
With Ellie.
We've seen the first season of the show, right? Like the exact same thing happens in the
I don't know
show.
if I finished it.
Oh, okay.
Oh
Maybe I
my
did.
god, Tristan.
It's crazy.
I'm bad at it, bro.
The show is really good. I like how they divert from the source material in certain ways, but
Season 2 isn't out.
I didn't
it
like
comes out in like a month.
Yeah, okay.
The
That's
lack
when I'll
of-
finish season
the
1.
lack
you know
of
what I'm saying?
zombies in the first season. Like, I feel like there wasn't enough zombie action.
There's like no zombie
That's fair.
action.
It's
Well, there are a
really
few
not
big
whole lot.
moments,
Yeah,
but
like when the
they
horde-
aren't just like encountering them regularly as they're going through cities and stuff.
Yeah, but in the game, you're fucking
Every 5 seconds.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's always zombies. Or then the next level will be like a lot of humans, and then you'll get to a part with zombies. And
Also, I see y'all's point. It makes a lot of sense, but also some of his like certain aspects of gameplay aren't going to translate well
No,
to
they're
a
just
TV
not.
show. Like
Sure.
you can't have
You can't
6
have
hours
6
just
hours
of
fighting zombies.
Joel
Yeah.
shooting people and zombies.
yeah,
You know,
for sure, it had to move a little bit
Yeah,
faster.
yeah.
Well, I mean, if you made movies from video games, a lot of the times it's just the cutscenes. You know?
Yeah. Honestly, I would have argued that they shouldn't have made the whole first game into one season. They should have divided it up into several seasons
Yeah.
to give Bella Ramsey time to
Yeah.
actually age
Agreed.
a little bit at
and
least.
develop
and
that
then-
relationship more.
Yeah, because the first season, like it's still like a good show, good series, but they could have taken their time with it.
It could have been a lot longer.
They could have been a lot longer. Yeah, they crammed some story things in there that could have been like several hours on their own instead of like 30 minutes in another episode.
Okay, what's your next one?
Yeah, sorry, we're getting
I
sidetracked.
know we're getting a whole episode
Yeah.
out of just your
All right,
top 10.
number 2, probably the game I've bought the most, Skyrim.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
As much as I shit on Bethesda and Skyrim now, just because Bethesda doesn't innovate like they used to, I've spent so many hours in Skyrim. I've got it on my PS3, PS4, and PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's anything I can say
My
about that
PS3
hasn't been
version
said.
is much bigger than all the other ones, though. I have went insane into that one. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's such a good game. Like it's obviously like as far as RPGs go, it's more of like an introductory level
Yeah.
RPG, but it's what got me into playing RPGs.
Yeah, me
was
too,
because it was so
honestly.
user friendly. The world was still so interesting.
The world was
it
very
was-
immersive.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
Even, being introductory level for
Yeah.
RPG, like you could get in there and like feel like
You weren't just confused by
Yeah, no.
everything.
you could feel like
Here's
you're
a-
Dragonborn.
Here's where, okay, you guys are saying all this, right? It's immersive. Is
Right.
it? It is?
Yeah.
I
It
think
is?
so, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. And weren't you just shitting on Starfield not that long ago? Okay. Go
Apples
up to
and oranges.
No, shut the fuck
Boo.
up. Go up to an
Boo.
NPC in
Boo.
Skyrim and like mess around with them. They say like the same. They do have different things they say, but like
Yeah.
the random NPCs, not like the ones you can talk to in a bar or something. They're all, I don't forget the words that they say, but they're all like, oh, what do you do that? Go do that. But
Yeah. Oh, you're right. But also,
the-
that game came out in 2011.
okay,
I was about to
Starfield
say
came out
that.
in
I
2023.
I understand that, but that you couldn't record more voice lines, bro?
Well, they didn't have as
You didn't
many
have voice.
actors.
You didn't have
like-
voice recording on
Yeah.
back in. You had a limited supply.
You
of
try to make a
voices.
fucking game, Tristan.
I'm just saying that you can't shit on Starfield when they're like.
Yes, we can. I
No, you
absolutely
can't.
will
No,
shit
you
on
can't.
Starfield.
It's a good game, bro.
It is a mediocre game.
You're a mediocre person.
Thank you. Nicest thing I've
You're
heard
a
today.
transgender trap.
That Snapchat was wild. Yeah.
There's a transgender giraffe at my house.
All
Inside joke.
It's a good thing this podcast isn't large enough yet to get us canceled.
We could edit that out if it was.
Jamie, cut that out real quick.
Jamie, cut that.
Thanks, Jamie. All right.
Number
all right,
one.
next. Number one, Cyberpunk 2077.
Holy shit!
I love Cyberpunk.
That got all the way to number one, like your favorite
Yes.
game ever.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yes.
That's crazy. I haven't
Yes.
played
Wow.
enough of it to even really
Yeah.
have anything to say.
I'm
I
telling
don't
y'all,
know.
if you get deep enough into it, you'll understand exactly why that's my number one. You talked about the lack of immersion from like just NPCs. There's several missions where you can literally complete them in like 3, at least probably 4 different ways. Like main missions.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's like you
I
can
get
either
that.
like, I think like the first mission, I'll just use it as an example. You can either go to like some government agent, get some encrypted money from her. You can just go to this base and outright steal the thing you need, or you can blow her cover to the. It's hard to explain, but like it's such an immersive RPG. They've improved the game mechanics. It feels like if Bethesda adapted with the times, a type of game they would make
Yeah.
in like 2025, or I think Cyberpunk came out several years ago, but with the amount of updates they've released, it's basically a different game.
Designing your ship, that's not something cool. Designing
I mean,
bases.
it's not that
You
that's not cool. It's just like how much of it matters. Really, it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
it doesn't really
Look
matter.
at GTA in the future. This is fun.
Yeah, but
It is sort of like that in a way, but it's
Cyberpunk.
way different.
I mean, y'all can hate on me, but the world of, or the city, I guess, of Night City is amazing.
I'm sure it's cool. Yeah, no, I need to play
Really
it.
good
I need
game.
to
And
play it
also,
more.
you can play completely different game styles. Like, I've played the whole game through twice, and each time it's taken me about 200 hours to fully like do everything that I possibly can in the
Good God.
game. And you can do
No
so
life.
by, yeah, exactly. But you can either play with katanas.
That's
you can
what
play
it's like
with,
being single. I remember.
You can play.
Yeah.
Shut up. You can play with guns. You can play with throwing knives. You can also use different types of technology to either hack into cameras, or you can slow down time or move faster.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
But it's
There's definitely a lot of ways to play. I've
Yeah.
seen like just
like it's not
scrolling
like
clips.
Skyrim where every time you end up being a stealth archer, it's
Yeah.
like you can actually do completely different gameplay styles and choose different storylines and make different story choices to make a different character. And with each beginning path you pick, it gives you different dialogue options in the game. Like say
That
if you
seems
pick
like too much for me.
if you pick a corporate
Seems like too
background, you have more corporate dialogue. If you pick like you grew up on the streets of Night City, you have more like street smart like dialogue, and
No,
it's
see, that
really
sounds
cool.
good. Like that's
it's
cool.
really good.
Yeah, right. That
Yeah.
sounds really good to me. That's fucking overwhelming because I'm a weirdly 100%er. So it sounds like to me I would go through and try to do all of them, and that's way too much.
Yeah, you
It is
definitely
a
have to.
lot.
You have to
Yeah.
play over a few times to get like the full experience.
Yeah.
Just because there's just gonna be stuff that you miss out on. But that's like any RPG. Like if you do like one quest in Skyrim, it locks you out of another.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But
That's a number one for you. That's
What would you
wild.
rate it out of
it's
10?
surprising. Honestly, with the Phantom Liberty DLC, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
What was my number one? It was just so you can make fun of me if it's that bad. Battlefront 2 was my number one.
You're fucking stupid, dude.
Number 2 was GTA.
The
5.
2005 version or the new
Yeah,
version?
the
Nice.
2005.
Nice. That's a solid pick.
3 was
yeah.
Spider-Man, then Black Ops 2, Black Flag, Tarkov, Minecraft, Tony Hawk, American
Yeah.
Wasteland, Pokemon
Tony
Arceus,
Hawk?
and number
There's-
10 was King Kong.
There's so many good games. Like I wish I could have listed more stuff on my list. What else do you have? Like Black Ops 2 is great. Black Flag is the best Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
game.
He
Black
has
Flag.
the King
That's-
Kong game on
It's
his,
my 10. It's my
on
number
his
10.
It's
top,
top-
10 game.
It's subjective, man.
Bro,
It
it's,
is,
Like, that's-
it's
absolutely.
the only reason it's on there is because it's an older game.
I know that.
Okay, and it's like one of the only games besides maybe Hogwarts Legacy that is an adaptation from a movie. And you can't even say that about Hogwarts Legacy because it has different characters. You're playing as the characters in the fucking movie, as Peter Jackson's
Mhm.
movie, and it's a good game. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's pretty gas.
Yeah.
No, I'm
That's
yeah,
cool.
I'm not hating,
Yeah.
but it's just crazy.
Yeah. No, I respect it. That's cool. You got to have a little bit of character in your list instead of just having like top 10 most like well-known popular
Or like
games
my,
of recent
my
time.
cousin that commented and had 6 different years of 2K and like 4 different
And
CODs.
Roblox.
Yeah, and
That's the
Roblox.
equivalent of just like
That's like
eating
hot Cheeto
chicken
girl.
with like no spices on it
Yeah.
and just be like,
You're like,
ooh, I'm a
"Smart."
really good cook. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
gonna do a few.
We're gonna do a
random
few
top tens.
because it's already
we're
about hour 50.
Yeah, bro, we've been fucking.
That's crazy.
going.
Yeah.
Hey, that was cool though. You know, we kind of
It's
we
been,
got.
I mean, it
I
flowed.
liked it. We got to dive into some stuff. You know,
Yeah.
bringing up his. You know, that was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, no, it's always.
We don't
cool.
really dive in too much anymore. Sometimes.
I think that's the best way for us to introduce someone new.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
Now,
fucking-
anytime Ben's on here, we just shit on Cyberpunk.
Hey, once
That's
you
not
play
what I
it,
was
you
thinking.
you won't be shitting on it.
Okay, we're gonna do some top 10 lists. We had more time slotted for this, but we really dove deep into this shit. So
It's fine. We'll
it's
just
fine.
do a few.
yeah, we'll just do a few. We're gonna do. You gonna do Guns and COD first?
Sure. Let's just list them off like and have
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fine. List them off.
Guns in COD. Who goes first?
Yeah, you get. Listen, we're gonna make a. You can talk about 2 things on your list. We cannot deep dive into this shit. I'll go first, and then we'll
Sure.
just go this way. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Number 1, I have the Car 98 from Modern Warfare 2019.
Nice.
This is the one I'm going to talk about because
Cool.
it was right before I got a PC. I got a PC when Modern Warfare 2019 was out, but it was right when I was getting good at quickscoping. And that Car 98, I mean, I have clips, and they're my favorite clips of gaming of all time with that thing because I would just
It was a monster.
Yeah.
It was a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a one shot anywhere above the waist, I think.
That's crazy.
Gas, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't get much.
I wish
hit
I played
markers.
more
You don't
Modern
get
Warfare
that out of-
2019.
you don't even get that out of sniper rifles now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I wish I played more of that game back
Number
in the
2,
day.
Yeah, it was good.
I have World at War's MP40, just because
Solid.
that was the first one I played.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3's MP. Actually, no, that's next. Black Ops 2's Peacekeeper.
Oh yeah.
It was a free DLC gun, kind of like I think you had to buy the DLC, but the gun came with it. Like it wasn't some battle pass bullshit,
Right.
you know, where you have to buy the battle pass and then unlock the gun. The gun just got, you know.
It might have just been free for everyone. I might be misremembering that because this has been like over 10
Yeah,
years
maybe they
ago.
did. Maybe they did free.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go with the Honey Badger from Ghosts.
I
Yeah.
love that fucking gun.
That's a
dude.
good
Yeah.
gun, dude.
It-
Slaughter.
yeah. I actually put that on my list.
The
too.
AN-94 from Black Ops 2.
Oh yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
be honest here.
I
Yeah.
love I love that gun.
It was also really fun in Zombies. The Galil from Black Ops 1. The MP7 from Modern Warfare 3.
Oh yeah.
I only wrote down 7, but because I couldn't remember the other ones.
Well, you
But
can just
they
say ACR from MW3.
Well, yeah, but they were 2 guns. I just don't remember the
MW2
guns. It was
ACR
like
was also
the
good.
DM10 or something from Warzone.
DMR-10.
DMR10 maybe. Yeah, it was like a what is it called? Not a sniper rifle,
A
but
DMR.
It was literally a DMR.
I'm not trying to be a
rifle.
smart ass. Like
yeah, but
that's
what's
what
the
they
other
are.
class?
Marksman rifle.
Marksman. It was a marksman
Oh,
rifle.
okay.
And in Warzone, I think shredded. And then there was
Yeah.
another one that was kind of like.
But in real life, that is like a DMR.
It's
like
a
that's-
designated
yeah.
marksman rifle.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ben.
All right. So going from number 10 to number 1, I have the model 1887 and MW2.
Oh my god.
The Honey Badger from Ghosts. Number 8 is the FAMAS from Black Ops 1. Number 7 is the AN-94 from Black Ops 2. Number 6 is the BAL-27 from Advanced Warfare.
Yeah. Oh, that was on my list.
I forgot about it until we were going through the list, and then I saw, I was like, oh yeah, like everyone used that gun.
Everyone, yeah.
The MSMC in Black Ops 2, the Intervention in MW2, that's like the iconic quick scoping gun.
Yeah.
The ACR from MW2 is my number 3. My number 2 is the MP7 from MW3. And my number 1 is the ACR from MW3. So the ACR is on there twice.
Yeah, but
But it was
games.
great in
Yeah.
both MW2 and 3.
And they're always different guns. I mean, it's never the same gun,
Yeah.
even from game to game.
Yeah.
Hell
But,
yeah.
yeah, it's mine.
All right, number 10 for me, Galil, Black Ops 1. Number 9, BAL-27. Number 8, MP7, Modern Warfare 3. Number 7, M4 2019 MW. Fucking great gun. Then we have the ACR, MW3, and then we have the AN94 Black Ops 2, and then the MSMC Black Ops 2, and then the rest are sniper rifles. Car 98, 2019 Modern Warfare, Ballista Black Ops 2.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the
fucking Ballista, dude.
Yeah, it wrecked.
Also, I liked, what was the other one called? Like the DSR.
Yeah,
That one
I
was a
forgot
little
about
bit
those.
better. Like
I loved the DSR
Yeah.
more, but
yeah, but the Ballista was solid. I love the iron
Yeah.
sights attachment.
There's not
just
even
because
any
that
good
was
sniper
cool.
rifles now.
Yeah, I just
Any
don't play
good
COD
ones.
enough anymore to know what's good and
they
what's
just
not.
add too much shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they change the guns too often. They nerf and buff every week.
That's every fucking time they add a gun, it's overpowered, and then in a couple weeks it'll be nerfed to shit, and then they'll
Yeah.
add a new one the next week, and then
Just
same shit. over and over again.
Overcomplicated.
Number one will be the MSR from MW3, the greatest fucking sniper rifle of
Oh
all
my
time.
God,
yeah, okay,
yes.
I remember that
The
gun.
MSR.
It took me a
Yeah.
second, but I'm thinking of, I know like the exact like chamber around animation and yes, that was a
burned
good
in my
gun.
brain, dude.
Yeah.
Playing the face-off 1v1, 2v2,
I love the face-off
3v3
mode,
maps,
dude.
Yeah.
dude, and just everybody would be running snipers, MSR.
Such an underrated
You
like
sniper, you're a
DLC.
bitch.
Yeah.
Like the face-off maps were so underrated. Like I remember doing like private lobby infected on like those small maps. It was so intense.
Oh, dude.
because they're
yeah.
so small.
Because remember
like,
Infected in those games?
oh my
Yeah.
God! I just remember like either you or someone else would just invite tons of randoms to a private match where they take away throwing knives and
yeah.
people just cheese
Just try-
spots
yeah,
and just
the cheese spots were
Yeah.
the best.
It's
It's
funny
crazy.
because we had a community that would go along, like, the COD community was like, you could just do that. You
They
know?
were cool back then. People were cooler in the games. Nowadays,
Yeah.
motherfuckers will just grind and they're no life in this shit. It's no
Yeah.
fun anymore.
I gotta get Dark Aether.
unless I'm playing
fucking
zombies with
anything.
y'all, like I just don't play Call of Duty.
Yeah, and people will
So-
literally like do. You know, back in the day, there were rules. You know, there
Right.
was stuff that it was slight. You know,
Yeah,
if you pulled out a riot shield and a shotgun, you were an asshole.
yeah,
Yeah, nowadays it's just that just happens.
Everyone wears a riot shield
Yeah.
on their back.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Top maps in
let's
COD.
start
yeah,
this
yeah.
way and
Start
then
that way,
work.
come this way.
Yeah.
Number 10, Terminal for Modern Warfare 2. Number
Dope.
9, Express for Black Ops 2, the
Okay.
bullet train map.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you guys remember Slums from Black
yes,
Ops 2.
that almost made my
Yeah.
Oh my
list.
God.
Oh yeah.
Slums Hardpoint was so much fun.
Yeah, that was a good map.
yeah.
Summit from Black Ops 1.
Yeah, that almost made my list too. Hell yeah.
Dome, Modern Warfare 3.
Oh,
Yes,
Dome.
I love Dome.
Dude, Dome
I
is
put
so good.
it's on my list.
Bro,
yeah.
playing survival mode on Dome
It was crazy.
was so much
Dude,
fun.
playing Infected on Dome?
Crazy. Oh, that was wild
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Firing Range, Black Ops 1.
Yeah.
Hijack, Black Ops 2. I wish I should have put this one higher, but I couldn't beat out the rest. Raid, Black Ops 2. The
Raid.
Penthouse Mansion
Yep.
thing.
It's on my list.
And then we got Nuketown. Doesn't really matter for
Which
which
one?
one because
They're
it's
all the
all the
same.
same. And,
Right.
and then number 1 has to be Shipment for me because
You
Kind
can
of what
zone out
started
and
it
play
all.
day.
Yeah.
I will zone the fuck
Yeah.
out, bro, and still drop 90 kills.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never played like the original Call of Duty 4, but I remember whenever they made it like remastered to try to trick people into buying Infinite Warfare. Whenever they eventually sold the remastered Modern Warfare separate from Infinite Warfare, I bought it and I just played tons of Shipment online.
That's all I would play while Infinite Warfare was out was
Yeah.
that remaster.
Well, they knew that Infinite Warfare wasn't going to be received well, so like, oh, we'll just slap on a really popular game with it to try to get more people to buy it.
yeah.
And I think it actually worked. Like
It
that's
did.
really a smart strategy, but it's also really sleazy.
Well, they had the most disliked trailer
Yeah.
of all time.
Wasn't that why they got rid of like showing the like to dislike ratio?
Yeah, it was around then, I think.
Yeah.
Or
I don't know if
around then.
maybe it might not have been that
Like,
specific
for which
video.
trailer?
The
Infinite
Infinite
Warfare
Warfare like
trailer?
reveal trailer. Like it was so heavily
Everybody
disliked.
hated that game. Well, we've been telling them already we're tired of the future stuff, and they're like, okay, space.
Well, the
Yeah.
problem was whenever people were telling them that they'd already been developing that game before all the criticism of Advanced Warfare came out.
Yeah.
So it was just too late. Like they just had to release it and hope people liked it.
Uh-huh.
Now I'd be fine if they would do a futuristic COD
Yeah,
real quick. You know, do one and then go back.
yeah,
I'd be down for that.
yeah.
Yep. Go ahead, man.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm
starting with number 10, Favela in Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
Raid and Black Ops 2 is my number 9. 8 is actually Resistance in Modern Warfare 3. So it was set in like
Resistance
a
to
French.
Paris.
Yeah, it was set in
French.
France. Yeah,
That's a
it's
good survival
actually
map.
it's a really good survival map. But overall, like it's a pretty good just multiplayer map.
Yeah.
Like it's not amazing, but I played so much Modern Warfare 3 that map is just like ingrained in my mind.
It's
Like I
bringing
know
back happy
all
memories.
3 routes, like like back when they did the classic like 3 route multiplayer system.
Go
Like
with
I
it.
just know all of them off the top of my head.
Me too, bro.
Um,
For sure.
The number 7 is Express in Black Ops 2. Number 6 is Shipment from COD 4. Number 5 is Hijack from Black Ops 2. Like
Fuck yeah.
God, like I could play any game type, any game even just on.
I know that's a good one for the
just
private
on
mode stuff.
Hijacked. Yeah, dude. Dome is number 4 from Modern Warfare 3. That map is just iconic. Terminal, they've redone it so many times. It doesn't really matter which edition, I guess.
No, it
Terminal in
doesn't.
general is just a really good map. Rust is my number 2. Number 1, of
Yeah,
course, Nuketown.
Yep.
That's
I couldn't make it my number
Go.
one.
you have to. Like,
Yeah.
At this point, it's
I'm with you. It's a great
It's
map.
a
Yeah.
small.
a
Almost-
perfect map.
Yeah.
It is.
If
a really
anything,
great
its
map.
only crime is just being overdone.
It's overdone. Too many
Yeah.
people know about it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
peeking at Tristan's
right.
iPad.
I
He has
know,
some
I
maps
just
pulled
remembered
up.
that map.
This Bakara was good too. Man, Modern Warfare 3, the first
Yeah.
one, not the shitty new one, was
Oh, that
my
sucked.
Call of Duty game.
Yeah, for sure. That
Like you
Black
can
Ops
tell
2.
by my list that I mostly played Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2.
Yeah, me
Uh,
too.
Like
My
those were
list?
my
I have 2 honorable mentions, and I hate that they don't make my list.
yeah. Well, there's so many good Call of Duty maps. it's hard
Arcaden
to-
on Modern Warfare 3, the mall. You know, it was the mall.
Oh yeah,
That's where I played all my private matches.
it was great for
everything.
Infected.
It was a great map, dude.
Yeah.
It was small but open, but like there's only like one wall really. It was great. Then Dome is another honorable mention because
Yeah.
obviously Dome. Number
Right.
10, I got Hackney Yard from Modern Warfare 2019.
I love that fucking map, dude.
Isn't that map awesome,
That map's
bro?
fucking
It's like the
amazing.
one with the shipment container and the wall you can hop up on and then quick scope over the whole map. And then there's the back window. And
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great map. For Search and Destroy, that map was next
Yeah.
level. You could get on top of like buildings a little bit. It was fun. Express. Talk
Yeah.
about this. Number 8 is Raid. Talk about that one. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
great fucking map.
Raid Shadow Legends. That's what.
when
I
are you all
think.
getting a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship?
Hey, bro, we're in
Raid.
next
Yeah,
up.
we're next
We-
up. They're giving them to
We
everybody.
love mobile gaming.
We love mobile game. Yeah. Oh, I wish a mobile game that was good would hit us up. I'd love to.
I wish a company that sponsored everything would sponsor this podcast.
Yeah. What was that? Oh, 7. I got High Rise. Because
High Rise.
it's
Yeah.
fucking High Rise,
Hell
bro.
yeah.
Right.
And the new one's okay, right? Like the new one is, but I remember in Modern Warfare 2, right?
Mhm, that was the
Yeah.
first one. Yeah.
In Modern Warfare 2, it was way better. Way
Oh, for
better
sure.
playing it.
And
Back
like people
then.
like just jump off the map and like 360 no scope.
Well,
trying
yeah,
to-
but even back then, you got to remember, like now you can kill people with, like back then the guns were different.
right.
They weren't. They're so together now. Like back then,
Mhm.
if you were a sniper and you got on that roof, you're pretty solid unless somebody else had a sniper. Because like nowadays, you get the LMGs or something, and they're fucking lasering you up there.
Right.
You know, even SMGs are lasers now.
Yeah.
Number 6, I got. Oh, I should have replaced this because this does not belong on my list. Terminal is what I had, but the more I thought about it, I fucking hate Terminal.
Say Rust.
That's crazy.
I liked it back in the day. Anyway,
Such a good map.
number 5, I've got Rust.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest,
Classic.
dude. Yeah, classic for sure.
The best
Classic like
1v1 map.
1v1.
The
Yeah.
best
Yeah,
1v1
best
map.
1v1 map. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I really like getting up on top. You know, it's really fun.
Boss.
That ass. Yeah.
What? What?
Number 4, I have Nuketown.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe my
That's
top
solid.
5.
Yeah.
Number
Yeah.
4, I have Nuketown. It's a good map. I've lost as much interest in it lately because of the new games. If you play Nuketown, you're dead every 3 seconds. You can't
Yeah.
get out of your spawn.
I think part of
It's-
that is just due more to the new games rather than the map design
Mhm.
itself.
That's how shipment is
definitely.
nowadays too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead.
Number 4, Shipment didn't make my list either. That's wild. They should have. Number 4, number 3, I have Shoot House.
Good map.
That map is amazing, dude.
Which
It's
game was Shoot House?
2019.
2019 and
Modern Warfare.
all 3 new Modern Warfares it was in,
Yeah.
actually.
Okay, because I kind of took
They come
a
out in
Call of Duty
2019.
hiatus between Advanced Warfare and Black Ops.
Shoot
6.
House 24/7 is way better than Nuketown 24/7 by a
Okay.
lot, because there are spots of the map where it doesn't, like in Nuketown you're always vulnerable to getting sniped.
Right.
You're always
Right.
vulnerable to walking around a corner and getting shotgunned. There are parts of the Shoot House map where those things, if you're running a shotgun, you're gonna want to go left. If you're
Mhm.
running an AR, maybe go right. If you're running a sniper, go down the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Number 2, I have Grind. If you guys remember that, that was a DLC that come out when the Peacekeeper came out. It was a skate park.
Yeah.
That was just fun because it was
It was a
something
good map.
different. It wasn't like a war zone or anything. It was just a skate park, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
We were
I don't
skaters.
skate, but like it looks like a skate park.
Yeah, it does.
Like it does a really good
It was
job.
a
Like you can
really-
tell, like it's like, oh, this is like actually a pretty well designed skate park turned into a shooter map.
Well, back then, me,
So-
Cannon, and Evan were always skateboarding. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
So they hit that special for us. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure they
fucking
did.
awesome,
Number
man.
1, I have Hijacked because
Hell yeah.
how have they not
Yeah.
remade that one?
I don't know.
That's
They remade all
surprising.
these other ones, but not Hijacked, bro.
Yeah.
That was like,
as far as original Black Ops 2 maps, that's easily the best one.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because from Black Ops 2, obviously. I mean,
Right.
obviously Nuketown's in there and
Yeah, I
everybody
said
likes it.
like
but yeah,
original Black
that's
Ops
definitely
2.
the best
It's
one. Yeah,
it's perfect for any like game
Anything.
type,
Yeah,
any
for
game
sure.
type.
for sure. And
Like,
it's
even-
just small. It's linear.
Yeah, even
There's
things like
nothing
gun
too
game, it's
much going
perfect.
on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's
I know
two
this
lists.
is sacrilege, but you want to do a top 5 list? Maybe go a little faster?
Yeah, it would go a little
Top
faster.
5 zombies maps?
Top 5 zombies maps.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Top
We
5
can do
zombies
that.
maps? I'll
How
start.
much? I need to probably be out of here before too long.
Yeah,
so-
for sure. Let's just do one more list.
All right.
Do zombies maps and then we can call it, you know?
Yeah.
We're
that
running
sounds
pretty
good.
fucking long.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is kind of hard, but top 5, my number 5 is Buried from Black Ops 2. They introduced the ray gun Mark II, and the Easter egg was
It's
very cool
really
on
fun,
that
yeah.
fucking map, going into the house, you know, and
The
like,
maze. Yeah, all that.
It was really trippy, fucking just cool,
Yeah. The
interesting
giant.
take. Yeah,
Yeah.
that big dumb fuck.
Yeah.
Number 4, the Giant, or Darice, I think was the original name of that map.
Yeah.
It was called the Giant in the Zombie Chronicles DLC. Just another small map that's replayable as fuck. Next one is Town from Black Ops 2, which is like part of the, transit world.
Yeah.
But this map, I just love this map a whole lot more because it was like, I don't know, it just had the best setup for fucking, going long rounds and shit like that.
Yeah.
And next we have the original Zombies map, Nocturne Totem from World at War, or from Zombies Chronicles. Immensely replayable. And then number 1 is obvious, like Kino der Toten in the Nazi movie theater
Mm-hmm.
is the greatest fucking Zombies map. Bar
Which one?
none.
That's fair.
Kino? Yeah,
Kino
for sure.
is my favorite.
Who
Zombies
doesn't love
map.
Kino, dude?
Yeah.
I love Kino. It's not my personal number 1. I'm just gonna list them off the dome. Tristan, would you mind scrolling back up to the list of maps?
Yeah, I'm kind of on one right now. That one was a very small list.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna start with number 1 because the first one that comes to mind. Noctur Totem is my number 1.
Yeah.
It's what started it all. Like back in the day when you beat the World at War campaign, and then holy shit, there's a hidden
Yes.
mode, and
Yeah,
like
I
there's
forgot.
in Black Ops 3. I like that there's like a mystery fizz machine or whatever.
Yeah.
But I like in the older games, like in World at War, and then whenever they brought it over to Black Ops 1, like there's no perks, and I don't know, it just feels raw, and it's such a small space. It's just.
Yeah.
I really like it. Like, to me, that has a lot of replayability just because you don't have to run around doing Easter eggs. You don't have to explore stuff. It's here's where the zombies come. You have guns. You have a mystery box. Stay alive. It's just simple. It's quick. It's relatively easy if you're decent at training.
Yeah. Just go up. Like if you have a group of 3 or 4, go upstairs and like turn left, and there's
Yeah.
like a wall with a railway on the stairs, and the windows on this side. you'll just fucking take turns with your LMGs.
Yeah.
Talking about the World at War map, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know that's the same map in Cold War.
I haven't played Cold War.
Cold War Zombies, it's the same map, but they open up where you can go to the outside too.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know they did that.
Mhm.
That's cool.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I need to check that out. My number 2 is probably Kino der Totem. Like it's
Hell yeah.
classic map. Like Black Ops
Absolutely.
1 is a great game too. But like the Nazi theater, really cool. What's my number 3? Probably what's it called? Buried.
Buried.
I really like Buried. Like the whatever the gun it is that you hold it like a mini gun. You can
Yeah.
like levitate, and that's when they introduced the ray gun Mark II, which I don't like as much as the ray gun Mark One, but it
Waste
was
bullets.
it was new. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hadn't
At
done
least
that really.
they'd never done anything quite like that before. I just like being in like an underground like western town. Like
Oh,
it was
for sure.
interesting.
And you start at the top.
Yeah,
You start at the top and you
fall
just
down.
drop.
That
Yeah,
was
it's
sick.
Yeah.
really cool. Number 4 is probably Moon. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Yeah, I really like Moon, like where you start out and you basically just as quickly as possible have to get to the moon, otherwise you're just gonna get overrun.
It's complicated
zombies.
to do all the fucking
Yeah,
Yeah,
and like the
that.
weapons that like detach and I can't remember what they're called,
I don't
but like the
remember
wonder weapons where it's like you like attach them and then
Oh
you
yeah, the
detach.
two-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't remember what
that.
they're called, but those weapons are really cool. I just like the concept of having a gun like that in zombies. What number was that? 4? Okay, number 5. Cliche, but probably Origins.
really.
I like Origins.
Origins is loved, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't
Yeah.
like Origins as much. Like, I don't know if that's just me, but
Yeah.
it's pretty universally loved. The staffs are pretty sick.
Oh yeah, and just like being, I think like you spent a good chunk of the rest of Black Ops 2 not playing as those characters from the original like story or whatever in
Yeah.
Zombies. So to be back playing as them again was pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, my number 5 is going to be Town.
Solid.
Really
Fuck
love
with
Town,
you,
bro.
Yeah.
Like it's such a good like if you just have two guys playing together,
It's
you could-
amazing.
it's solid. Yeah.
run around all fucking
It's
day on
definitely
that
the
map.
best of like the transit
Yeah,
maps.
for
For
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost put Transit at number 5, but I was like, no,
Transit as a
Town.
whole has too many flaws.
Yeah, well, Town I got the furthest on. Like, I'm probably not now. I'm sure I got further on the new one because it's kind of easy. But back then, I got to like round like 52 with some little 10-year-old, like
That's
some
crazy.
little kid. Me and him just matched up, and we were like, let's do it. And we got to like round 50 something. That's impressive back then. I
Yeah.
feel like. Number 4, I'm gonna go with. Sorry.
Excuse
I
me.
can't
Oh, you're
remember.
good.
I can't remember names. Where is
Yeah,
it?
that's why I wanted to look at the list earlier, just because off the top of my head, I was struggling to remember some of the names because it's been so long since I played. Jamie, can you edit this out?
Jamie, can you edit this out? I'll probably just honestly, I'll go with Liberty Falls.
I had that on a 10
Yeah.
list, but
Yeah.
I had to.
Yeah,
I'll honestly go Liberty Falls.
honestly, Black Ops 6 Zombies overall is really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Liberty Falls is something I can go into, and it's kind of like Shipment. I can go into it and just play zombies and watch TV and turn the sound off and
I've gotten
Have fun,
around 40
you know?
easily without even trying.
Yeah, you
before.
can get
Like
really
it's
far on
it's
that.
just fun
Yeah.
to hang out. I've
Yeah.
almost overplayed it to where I'm getting a little bored of the map, but that's
Yeah.
I've probably played that map more than any other because it's easy.
Yeah.
Number 3, I'm gonna go with Buried.
Yeah.
We've said a lot about it. It's a good map. I like all the different stuff you can go to. It's really interesting. That's the thing. It's an interesting map. You got the house with the witches and the maze, and then like the jail cell and
Yeah.
all that.
And I think they added Vulture Raid to that. I think
Maybe,
that was
yeah, I
the
think
first
so.
map that came
I think
out
so.
on.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had
No-
Mule Kick.
Yeah,
I love Mule Kick. That's
Fuck
a
yeah.
perk that Black Ops 6 desperately needs
Absolutely.
in its zombies maps.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with Die Rise.
I knew
If
you were
guys
going to say
remember.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Well, they
Die-
got the traps that you
Yeah.
can build.
It's
You
difficult,
always-
but it's good.
You always are at risk of falling because you have to
Mhm.
jump between the buildings.
That's
and
what pissed me off about
Yeah,
it. I
and-
died a lot because of that.
It's just so much fun how you have to traverse through the map. You got the elevator and all that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's fun, man.
It is fun, yeah.
And then at my number 1 is by far Dryzendrock.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah,
too.
you knew I was going to say that.
Which one?
It's
The
Black
bows.
Ops 3 with the The
okay.
wonder weapons are the bows.
Okay, I didn't play much Black Ops 3.
In the castle.
Okay.
Yeah, in the big old castle where you have to feed the dragons that are on the
Okay.
wall, and that map, dude, is perfection for me in zombies.
Nice.
It's the perfect amount of small spaces, big spaces. The Easter egg was like the first hard Easter egg I ever beat. Like,
Dude, it
Right.
was fucking hard.
yeah, and
I
then
never beat it.
the bows are so cool, man. You got a fire bow, a lightning bow, an ice bow, and then what did I say? Did I say fire, lightning, ice, and then
Void, maybe?
yeah, something like that.
Purple bow.
But all those bows are super fun, man. It's way better than. I mean, staffs are cool and all, you know, whatever. Swords, they're cool, I guess, but like the bows are just like wow, wow. It's fun.
I got you.
Yeah. It's a really fun game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to go back and try to beat that
Play
motherfucker.
Dry's Run. Got it. It's right there.
Dude, yeah, I'm so tempted
Just
to
pull up on the TV, do some split screen.
Play some split screen
I'm
Dry's and Drive.
very
Yeah.
tempted to pull my old Xbox One out and just play
Run it.
zombies.
Be fun. Hey,
Or
dude,
Halo.
we do it right here on these two PCs, homie.
I'm itching.
Yeah, cool.
We should
Yeah.
probably wrap this
We
up.
can wrap this up if you want. Yeah, that's
Hell
fine.
yeah.
I'd love to stay and hang out and
I
talk
mean, we
about
already
more
talked
stuff.
for over
but
2 hours. So
yeah,
Yeah,
I've got things to do, places to be. So
we underestimate how fucking long a
We were
top
gonna
10
talk.
movies, video games,
Yeah.
and TV
yeah,
shows.
well, it
I
doesn't
figured
take
me and
long.
you-
You get on a few side tangents, those become
Yeah.
other things. Next thing you know, you're getting.
There's
it,
a
you know.
lot to say about
Oh,
your
yeah,
favorite
for sure.
things. Like,
Well, I think
for
it
sure.
helps that there's 3 people here too. I
Yeah.
see that's what because me and you when we were talking about our top 10, we got through it in one episode, 2 of us, and I was like, well, we're just going over one person's,
Should
but
be
then there's
quick.
3 of us fucking
Yeah,
talking.
I'm a
Yeah.
nerdy dude. I have a lot to say about
Me
most
too.
things.
I never
so,
shut up.
Yeah,
You got a appetite.
Yeah, I'm not even drunk this time.
there you go.
It's too early this time.
Yeah.
Well, hell
Brought to
yeah,
you
man.
by Red.
Brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
No.
Pay us. No, just kidding.
Liquid Death, Dr. Squatch, that's what I want.
There you go.
Yeah.
Brought to
Yeah.
you by Manscaped.
You guys let us know how you feel about Ben's top 10s or, about our opinions as a whole and
Yeah.
some of the other
Yeah.
COD lists.
Everybody
Yeah,
go
feel free to
COD lists.
roast
Fully
me
canon
for-
into watching The Departed.
Yeah, feel free to roast me for not really playing much COD outside of like the early Modern Warfare and Black Ops
It's totally
days.
fine. COD is a cancer on video games anyway.
Yeah,
Tristan thinks gaming would be better without COD.
I think if COD
That's
went
why
away,
you-
gaming would get better for sure.
that's a hot take.
Yeah,
Well, I think
think-
now
think-
it would.
think
but
of all the
all the past Call of Duties were pretty like.
think of all the talents and ideas that are going towards that dog shit game that could be working on other games. All the funding, all
Yeah.
the people who are buying games that are just buying COD. That's the money they
Yeah.
have saved up, and they're like, "Well, I have to buy the COD instead of buying the story mode game to give that." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all just let us know what you think. And we're going to try to have guests on, along the line. It was
Yeah.
fun.
So
So,
some more.
yeah, thank you guys for watching. This has been the Who's Keeping Score podcast. Tune in next week for episode 11.
Thank you guys.